Welcome to Indiana High School basketball on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola, Culver Portside Marina, Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service, Dairy Queen of Winnemac, Patrick Auto Group, Farm Fertilizers, First Farmers Bank and Trust, Lawrence Farms, Mark's Body Shop in Knox, Zingo Express, Pulaski Memorial Hospital, Stark County Co-op, and Silla College. The Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen. Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Collins Insurance. Howard's Marathon of Winnemac and 5 Star. The Coca-Cola pregame show with Mitch Columbi and Coach Terry Minix is next.
Coach McPherson, do you know why you always hold a special place in my heart?
Why is that, Paul?
Because you showed me that I could do great things beyond the basketball court. I'm Paul Knighty, commissioner of the IHSAA, and this is Hall of Famer Herb McPherson, my basketball coach from North Posey High School. Mentors like Coach McPherson play a critical role in the development of young people.
Mentors show us what we're capable of. They challenge us to grow. They help us reach our full potential.
And they set the bar high, higher than we've set for ourselves. Coach, you did that for me.
Thanks, Paul. That's what's great about high school sports. It gives student athletes some of the most meaningful mentors they'll ever have in their lives.
Thank you for being that mentor for me, Coach. Let's all support the role of life-changing mentors by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events.
This is encouragement. This is empowerment. This is your IHSAA.
Rick Rabb 5 Star in the Knox Mall. It's another wow week of savings.
Everybody's thinking about Christmas shopping, Tony. We're thinking about giving you bargains so you can eat and have enough energy to go shopping. 80% lean ground beef in the family pack, $3.99 a pound. We've got Halo Clementines. There's nothing sweeter in the world except Tony Ross. 3-pound bags of Halo. They sell for $7.99 this week. $3.99 a bag. Where's that 5 Star?
In the Knox Mall.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammett and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort. Welcome to the Coca-Cola pregame show. Now, here are the voices of K99.3, Mitch Columbi and Coach Terry Minix.
You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Tonight, the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays host the Culver Lady Cavaliers in the nest. This is Indiana basketball. For the last 57 years, we've experienced sports broadcasting greatness here on WKVI. For that, we tip our hat to Harold Welter and thank him for his dedication and service to local high school sports. Thank you, Harold, for all that you did for Kankakee Valley Broadcasting. Thank you to our in-game producer, Chris DeGard, who is back at KVB headquarters, making sure we are broadcasting out to you live. With us tonight as our sports analyst, we are honored to have with us Coach Terry Minix. I am Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues. This is Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. And we welcome you to the nest in North Judson, Indiana, 46366. The Lady Jays and the Lady Cavs will be providing us our entertainment this evening as we are set to continue the new era of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting Sports on 99.3 FM and around the world, streaming live on WKVI.com. As we get ready for our 8th basketball broadcast of the season, we have seen both of these teams in action. When we look at the Culver Lady Cavs, head coach Shane Lowry is in his 3rd season in charge. The Cavs come into tonight 4-7 off of a good win against Knox last Saturday night, 54-37. Of course, we were there for that game. Coach Minix and myself were at that game. We saw Knox really struggle inside. It seemed that Culver's size is a factor when going up against this Lady Cav team. We turn now to our sports analyst and well-respected coach, Terry Minix. How are you tonight, Coach?
Doing well. Ready for another good night of basketball here in North Judson.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts after seeing this Lady Cavalier team this past weekend?
I was impressed. Obviously, Coach Lowry saying that they couldn't put the ball in the basket, and I don't know if that was a little bit of Lou Holtz in it or what, because it worked. It worked, and it sure seemed like they put the ball in the basket pretty much at will.
Well, let's check out the home team for tonight. The North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays come in at 8-4 on the year. Head coach Bailey Goodman is in her second season at the helm. The Lady Jays pulled out a phenomenal win last Saturday against a very good South Central Satellite team. The final score was 36-32 as the Lady Jays gave the Satellites their second loss of the season. The Jays continued their winning ways this week as they beat North White on the road 33-22 on Tuesday. When we look at the stats for the Lady Jays, leading in the scoring department is Sophie Frazier. She is averaging 16.5 points per game, shooting 38% from the floor. She also leads the team in the rebounding category, averaging 8.7 boards per game. Olivia Burkett leads the team in assists, averaging 4.5 per game. She also leads in steals with 1.8 per game. Not much has changed, it looks like, since we last saw them, Coach. Your thoughts early on in this one against the Cavs?
Well, we saw them against Knox. I think it was our first broadcast. And, And it was one of them games, it was just a rivalry game. So, they were both struggling at times. And I think it just came down to who had the ball at the end. And Judson was able to, get out of the Redskin gym there with a victory. So it's going to be an interesting game tonight. I think there's a lot. Obviously, when you look at North Judson, you're looking at Frazier. I mean, Frazier, she averages over 16 points a game. She can do it inside. She can do it outside. She's just one of them players that every coach dreams about having. So, that's one of the keys that I think Culver's going to have to understand is where she's at on the floor. So it's going to be an interesting game. But, if Culver is able to play the way they played against Knox, it's going to be a heck of a ball game.
Well, I agree with that, Coach. And as you all can hear in the background, the JV game is still finishing up. They actually are only playing one half of basketball that actually tied at the end of that half. So they are going into overtime, which I guess is considered the third quarter.
Well, I don't know how they figure that as far as nowadays, because usually when you're in overtime, it's a continuation of the fourth quarter. So I'm not sure if you count this as another quarter or how you do that. I mean, they only played 3.5 minutes. So it's interesting. I'm assuming that it's a continuation of their second quarter.
That's what I would say.
We shall see.
They tied it at 14. Now it is 16-7 with the Cavaliers JV team in the lead. There's only 8.7 seconds left. It looks like the Lady Cavs are going to be at the line to shoot free throws. But we appreciate you joining us on the Coca-Cola pregame show, refreshing the world, making a difference. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors as the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Injury Report is next. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Real magic is everywhere. It's in your mom's cooking, in 4-hour dinners with friends, in that first bite of something new, and in the fizz of a Coca-Cola. Now with so many options for less than $5, the Coca-Cola Value Collection will help you make the most out of every magic moment for so much less. Taste the magic for less with Coca-Cola.
BP gasoline with Invigorate helps clean your engine and can give you more miles per tank. Continuous use may result in the following pleasant side effects: excessive smiling, feeling more relaxed, taking more drives just because, volunteering for carpool twice in a row, and bragging to your friends about how you use our best fuel ever. To find out if BP gasoline with Invigorate is right for you, stop by your local station to discover our best fuel ever. Versus minimum detergent gas. Average restored 3 to 5 miles per tank. Based on fleet testing and based on what you drive and how you drive.
High school sports brought to you by Zingo Express. Who's in? Who's out? It's the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Injury Report with Mitch Columbi. Mitch?
Thank you, John Thompson. The Pulaski Memorial Hospital has been serving lives of the residents of Pulaski County and the surrounding area since 1963. We appreciate them supporting local high school sports. We are lucky to say no injuries to report tonight, as that will be your Pulaski Memorial Hospital Injury Report. Stay tuned as the Marian University's Ancilla College Coaches Corner is next. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
This presentation of our area's local high school sports is sponsored by Pulaski Memorial Hospital in Winamac. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is dedicated to providing excellent health care to improve the health and quality of life for the people and the community they serve. They will meet the community's needs and exceed their expectations by creating the best possible health care experience. For more information of the services they provide, call 946-2100.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Browns. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
Let's talk with the coaches on the Ancilla College Coaches Corner with Mitch Columbi.
To the Marian University Ancilla College Coaches Corner. I'm here with head coach of the Culver Lady Cavaliers, Shane Lowry. Seems like we're becoming friends here. Just saw you off that big win this past weekend against Knox. What have you been practicing this week, continuing that winning way?
A little bit of the same thing, working on ourselves, working on what we can do offensively to put the ball in the basket. I know we talked about that last time.
You got the lid off.
The lid was off, and it makes a big difference for our team. A little confidence just gets us rolling. Our offense is something that we've talked about, struggled with, and our defense is something we've always been able to lean on. And tonight's going to be one of those nights. We're going to have to be on our toes defensively. The Blue Jays are a strong team, strong physical team, led by Frazier. And, she's got a quick release. We just have to make sure that we stay with her and make it tough on her. Their post play is strong. They're just physical girls. And, we've in the past, that's been something that, we've had to deal with. And we're going to be the type of team that if we can take care of the ball, limit our turnovers, put the ball in the basket, our defense is something that we've been able to lean on. So
maybe something in particular you yourself are hoping to see from your girls out on the floor tonight?
Well, we'll be playing against a man defense, and we've seen a lot of zone this year, so just have to run our stuff. So that's one big thing, is that we execute our set plays, and when we have more of a spread 4 out, that we can read and react to what they give us. And we hit that hard the past couple of days, so I'm looking for us to execute.
Message to Cavalier Nation who may be listening this evening.
What do I want to tell Cavalier Nation? Basically what I want to tell them is that we're going to give it everything we have on the defensive end and hope that, we can bring home the victory. So,
Coach, I appreciate your time as always.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Marian University's newest location, Ancilla College of Marian University. Marian's newest campus location in Plymouth is your home for an on-campus college experience. From living in the dorms to being a collegiate student-athlete, Marian University is ranked 3rd most innovative Midwest university by U.S. News & World Report. For more information about our 2- or 4-year degrees, go to www.marian.edu/Ancilla. That's www.marian.edu/Ancilla.
All right, Coach, we catch up. Big win against South Central and then another big win this past week. Talk about what you've been preparing for tonight against Culver.
We really focus in on our defense. That's something we've been working on a lot lately. And then just boxing out. I feel like we've been giving up too many offensive boards the past couple games, and, a board here and there that can be the difference in the game. So we really want to lock in on those and get rid of those offensive boards so the further we get into the season.
What do you know about Culver?
Culver's good. They got a lot of shooters. We got to be able to guard them out there. Otherwise, anybody can get hot any night and go off. So we got to make sure we close out on their shooters and then, again, box out and get the offensive boards.
Anyone you're hoping to have a standout performance from tonight?
I would like for all of us to play really well. There's been a few games here and there where we've all kind of clicked. The past couple games, our scoring's been pretty even, but just to see everybody kind of go off, and maybe Olivia Burkett get into double digits, Kylie Lehigh get into double digits, Morgan Hensley, I think her post presence can be very dominant in tonight's game. I just want to see everybody all around do really well.
Message to Blue Jay Nation this evening.
Be loud and cheer on your Blue Jays, and thanks for the support.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be right back.
Culver's Portside Marina handles all water recreational needs. When it comes to pontoons, Godfrey leads the industry in performance and quality, and Portside Marina has it in stock. From sampan, aqua patio, and sweetwater pontoons, if you're looking for a family boat, Culver Portside Marina can help. Located at 514 West Mill Street in Culver. Stop in or call them at 842-5000. Culver Portside Marina.
Now it's time for the keys to the game. Sponsored by the Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen.
All right, as we get set for Indiana High School basketball action, what are your keys to the game as a Culver Cavalier, Coach?
Well, I think it's a lot of the same. What I said against Knox is patience is number one. They've got to control the tempo and limit the amount of turnovers. Them two things, along with understanding where Sophie Frazier is. Yeah. That's the three things. I mean, if they can contain her, they can handle the speed, take care of the speed they want to go, and not have a lot of turnovers, it's going to be a good game and it'll be a good finish for the Cavaliers.
All right, now flip sides. You are the head coach of the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays, wanting to continue this week of wins. What are your Auto Park keys to the game tonight, Coach?
Well, I think the big thing is just establishing an inside-out game. One thing that Sophie brings to the table is she can go inside, she can go outside. I mean, she can knock down the three. We saw her against Knox. She was, down low with the Hensley girl, and she gave Knox everything they could handle. Now, they've got to understand that Culver has to understand where she's at if she's the three. The other thing that Culver was able to do against Knox was limit them to one shot and done. If they can limit Judson to one shot, it's going to be a long night for Judson. But as long as they get a chance to keep putting it back up and getting other opportunities, Judson should have a good night.
Well, a lot to think about, guys, as that is your keys to the game. Sponsored by the Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen. Today's broadcast is also brought to you in part by Marian University's Ancilla College. If you are looking for a place to continue your education, visit marian.edu/Ancilla. Time to sit back and chill as the Coca-Cola pregame show continues. Our starting lineup is next. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Buick GMC in Plymouth, we have one of the largest vehicle selections in northern Indiana. We know that you can visit any number of dealerships when shopping for a new car. That's why we always make sure we go above and beyond for our loyal customers throughout Michiana. Our Auto Finance Center also works to ensure that you take advantage of a lease or loan solution that fits your budget. Lots of new inventory in stock and en route. Special local market pricing. Come drive the new Silverado and soon the new Hummer EV. Stop by our showroom today or go to AutoParkChevroletBuickGMC.com and see more, or even buy that special car you're looking for. The Auto Park Chevrolet Buick GMC in Plymouth. Come see the value.
This presentation of our area's local high school sports is sponsored by Pulaski Memorial Hospital in Winamac. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is dedicated to providing excellent health care to improve the health and quality of life for the people and the community they serve. They will meet the community's needs and exceed their expectations by creating the best possible health care experience. For more information of the services they provide, call 946-2100.
Now it's time for the starting lineups.
For the Lady Cavs of Culver, starting at point guard is Grace Sieber. At the 2 guard is Rose Peterson. Starting at small forward is Bryn Barrett. At the 4 is Amaya Williams. And at the 5 is Kennedy Jackson. For the Lady Jays of North Judson-San Pierre, at point guard is Olivia Burkett. At the 2 is Reagan Hensley. Starting small forward tonight is Sophie Frazier. At the 4 is Kylie Lehigh. And at the 5 is Morgan Hensley. That is going to be your starting lineup for tonight, as we will be back to get set for tip-off. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
What's good about Dairy Queen? Dilly bars, DQ cakes, blizzards, and the $5 buck lunch. Stop in for the $5 buck lunch with an entree, fresh hot fries, your choice of an ice-cold Coca-Cola product, and a soft-serve sundae flavor of your choice. Available every day from 11 to 4. Have a $5 buck lunch exclusively at Dairy Queen. Proud to support high school sports on US 35 Monticello Street in Winamac. Find out what's good about Dairy Queen.
In 49 other states, it's just basketball. But this is Indiana. Stay tuned for more in-game action with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Real magic is everywhere. It's in your mom's cooking. In 4-hour dinners with friends. In that first bite of something new. And in the fizz of a Coca-Cola. Now with so many options for less than $5, the Coca-Cola Value Collection will help you make the most out of every magic moment for so much less. Taste the magic for less with Coca-Cola.
Kankakee Valley Broadcasting, bringing you Indiana high school basketball on 99.3 FM, The Valley.
From the Nest in North Judson, Indiana, we welcome you back as we are getting ready for a battle between the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays and the Culver Lady Cavaliers. I am Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting as WKVI will always be here. Well, Coach, seems we have some time. How's your Christmas shopping coming along?
I really only have one I have to shop for. That'd be my wife. And she pretty much does everything else. So to say I'm done, I'm not even done with the one. I'm not going to lie to you. But.
So I'll tell you this. This is a tradition that my family has done, and a lot of people will probably make fun of me for this. My dad and I are 24th shoppers. And what we do is we take the day on the 24th. We go to the mall. We go to Indianapolis because we live close to Indy.
Right.
And we will always go shopping the night before Christmas and get home and wrap them ready to go first thing in the morning. It's a family tradition. I don't know if my dad would say it's a family tradition, but it became one because he and I were always last-minute shoppers shopping on Christmas Eve. So
that probably wouldn't work for me because we, with a rather large family, we do Christmas Eve where we open gifts on Christmas Eve, and then we do the kids and the grandparents and stuff on Christmas morning. So that would be a little tougher. I've just got to figure out a time here in the next couple of days.
You'll figure something out.
It's Christmas is sneaking up on us. A little bit of snow out there tonight, so it's reminding us it's Christmas isn't too far away.
Well, it is just right around the corner. We remind you to join us tomorrow night as the KVB sports schedule takes us to South Central, where the Satellites host the Lady Cats of Oregon Davis. Special guest sports analyst Nathan Welter will be joining me for a great game at the Launch Pad in Union Mills. That's tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central, right here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Did you know it was called the Launch Pad?
I did not, but the way they've been playing the last few years, I believe it's called the Launch Pad.
So I asked Ben Anderson, who is also the head coach of the girls program, or the girls team at South Central, but also the athletic director. I said, hey, what's the name of the gymnasium over there? And he said, the Launch Pad. So I said, all right, let's put it down. I
like that. That's good. The Satellites, I tell you what, he's had a great team. He's coached them a couple of years, and, he hasn't really truly had to be a coach and had to go through them really tough seasons. I don't know. He's probably lost 2 or 3 games total in 2 years. So it's probably, maybe he's got to have a little loving from his wife once he gets home if he loses one night, because he's not used to it very much. Where, us other coaches been doing it for years, we understood, and the wife would just tell us, be quiet, eat your food, go to bed.
Well, I told him, the Saturday sports line, I think this past Saturday, I said, boy, I like when you come in here off of wins. I don't know what you're going to be like coming off of a loss, Coach. And he said, yeah, I'm not sure either yet. So we'll figure out when we get to that point. But you're right. The Satellite's doing very well. Tough loss here in the Nest. As you can tell, it is a tough place to play. We were talking about that just before the broadcast. In your experiences playing here all those years ago, talk about what it's like playing here in the Nest.
It really is a tough place to play. I played myself back when, everybody came over in buggy and carriage and stuff back when I played. Not quite that long ago. But, it's totally different. There used to be a glass on I guess it'd be the east side of the gym. There used to be glass, and then there was the breezeway, and then you got your tickets there, and then you were completely outside. And now there's the wall that's, like 10 feet from the end of the court. And that's on both ends of the floor, and it's a tough place. They always have a great following, a great crowd. I tell you what, I love what they've done for the inside. The floor is incredible. The scoreboard, it's just I see why they have regionals, in 2A in girls and boys, because this is a great gym. It can hold a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like I say, scoreboard, plenty of parking, stuff to do. So it's just it's a basketball. I guess it's a sports county.
Yes.
Obviously the football team did extremely well this year and have been doing very well last couple of years. And the girls have been really, really good. And the boys this year are extremely good. So, they've got a lot to cheer about and, enjoy this gymnasium. So, it's a good time to be a Blue Jay.
Well, it's been a while since I broadcasted here, probably since 2014. And it's nice to see on the wall, you see Kirkman's jersey as well as Debbie Boland's jersey on the wall. And I can't quite read the other name I see. I see Kevin Brown and Allison Cox. But just the history here at North Judson, I definitely remember Boland. That's the name that really I remember in my head from being here in 2014. A big-time athlete coming out of North Judson. Talk about her a little bit.
Well, Debbie was incredible. I mean, she went on and played at Valparaiso, but she was just unbelievable. I mean, I think before she came to Judson, she was down in Kentucky and playing in the high school, and she was 5th or 6th grade or whatever down there, and
really?
She just was incredible. And, obviously one of the greatest girl basketball players to play in the state of Indiana. And then you say Kirk Mans. I mean, Kirk Mans, he is incredible. He's one of them guys that, went on to play at Michigan State, now is coaching down south at Seymour.
Sure.
So, he's a basketball, name from everybody knows throughout the Midwest. So they've got a lot of tradition here. One thing you said, Kevin Brown. I know Kevin's, not doing real well, and I just want to shout out to Kevin. We're thinking of you, buddy, and praying for you, and just hang in there and keep rooting on them Blue Jays.
Absolutely, and you're right. The whole gym is just a total revamp. The bleachers themselves, I couldn't believe it when I first came in. The bleachers, when they updated the bleachers since I was here last, and then the Jumbotron right in the center court. I mean, it's unbelievable. They even got their graphics. You've been watching. I keep staring at the Jumbotron at the graphics. It's kind of taken my attention span away from the court as we're getting ready for the game. But you're right, Coach. It's just this gym is something special, and I'm so happy to be here broadcasting a game. This really means a lot. You can just feel the history and the energy here in this gym. I know it's not quite filled up to our liking quite yet, but maybe here soon, once the game gets going, we'll see the fans come in full force.
And I'm sure it will. As the season goes along and it gets a little colder outside, people start looking for things to do. And especially when both teams here, the boys and girls, are doing extremely well, you're going to see this place start to fill up more and more. And, everybody's trying to get through this Christmas time. Everybody's shopping and doing all that Christmas stuff ahead of time. But they're going to buckle down, and they're going to get in the gym and root on these Blue Jays. But Mitch, you got us up here so high. I remember I would always see Harold about 4 rows up. Now Harold is a little older than I am, so he's a lot smarter, but he was down low where he could see the players. Mitch has got me up here so high.
Well, we're in the nest.
We are definitely in the nest, and I can see the scoreboard right straight ahead, and that's at the top of the building. So that tells you how high up we are right now.
Well, I wanted to get his first-class access up here. We were hoping to be able to plug into IHSAA TV today, but unfortunate, we had some technical malfunctions. We'll leave it at that. So
I had nothing to do with that.
No, you didn't, Coach. So I need to do some studying up with Athletic Director Mike Sharkozy. He was nice enough during the football season to allow us to plug into IHSAA TV, which broadcasts on their website throughout the world. And he offered us to be able to plug in WKVI's audio, and I said, well, heck yeah, we'll do that. So then he asked me to join it for the basketball season, and well, I got everything set up here, Coach. Before I should have checked to see if they had an audio port first. But
it's all right.
I already set it up.
Yeah,
so
it's all right. I'll be able.
You brought your glasses.
I've got my glasses.
Yeah.
I'll be able to see a little bit, so it's all good.
All right. Well, the PA announcer tonight is Logan Radke, which you may remember him. He's a senior from North Judson-San Pierre, one of the big-time defensive players for the Blue Jays on the football field as he led his team to the semi-state game in a tough matchup loss against Adams Central. But Logan Radke will be the PA announcer tonight in the nest. The clock operator tonight is Dave Altman. The scorekeeper is Kennedy Baxter. And our officials for this evening are Bob Schellinger, Sean Treese, and Zach Sleewa. Two-time Indiana High School basketball state champ Terry Minix is with us tonight as our sports analyst. I am Mitch Columbi, proud to be doing the play-by-play as we are set for girls basketball action here in North Judson, Indiana. 2:40 to go until our national anthem. We might as well just keep it here and keep on chatting as it is 7 o'clock on the dot right now. 7 Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Wherever you are, we so appreciate you joining us here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. We've got a lot of sports going on this week. Like I said a little bit ago, tomorrow night, we will be in South Central for the Oregon-Davis South Central game. And then this Saturday, we want to remind you the big game at Oregon-Davis as the Oregon-Davis Lady Cats will be hosting the Tri-Township Lady Tigers. And then the second game of the night, it is a girls and boys doubleheader where the Bobcats host the Tigers. So girls-boys doubleheader on Saturday. And why don't you go ahead and tell us all the festivities going on at Oregon-Davis this Saturday, Coach?
Well, on Saturday night, obviously there's the girl and boy doubleheader, but in between games, it's our Hall of Fame game. And the athletic director, Aubrey Lady, is trying to make it more of a bigger thing and kind of mock, quite honestly, what Knox does over there. They do a great job of honoring their past athletes, and so we're trying to make it a bigger thing. So this year they're inducting 4 new inductees, and we'll have a lot of the older ones or past inductees, not older ones, because we're all young.
Right.
Past inductees there as well. We'll have 4 new ones coming in. There'll be 2 girls and 2 ladies and 2 guys, along with the 2014 state championship team will also be honored and going into the Hall of Fame that night as well. So it's going to be really, really it's going to be a big night. And the gym's going to be packed. You know, I've heard so many people that have contacted me and said, they're planning on coming. I know virtually every one of our 2014 players are coming back. I know Kendra Sauer, which is Kendra Clark now, is not going to be able to make it. She lives in Colorado. She was planning to come, but her husband just tested positive for COVID, so she will not be there. But we should have everybody else there, so we're really, really looking forward to it. And everybody get back and, talk to the girls and we got Jerry Cease going in and George Smalley from the 1988 team and Lauren Cuss and Sarah Conkey. So, I mean, it's going to be a huge night. So if you're not doing anything on Saturday night, if you don't want to just listen to Mitch, and which a lot of people do, but get your ticket, come on in, and it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday night.
I'm excited that we had the game on the broadcast. When you told me that you guys were doing that night, I checked our schedule, and thank God we are going to be there. Well, we're going to pause as we are ready for our national. As here's our national anthem this evening. one of the greatest songs in the world. The national anthem, the United States of America, just played here over the loudspeaker. As we remind you our starters tonight for the Lady Cavs of Culver, starting at point guard is Grace Sieber. At the 2 guard is Rose Peterson. Starting at small forward is Bryn Barrett. At the 4 is Amaya Williams. And at the 5 is Kennedy Jackson. For the Lady Jays of North Judson-San Pierre, at point guard is Olivia Burkett. At the 2 is Reagan Hensley. Starting small forward is Sophie Frazier. At the 4 is Kylie Lehigh. And at the 5 is Morgan Hensley. We also remind you to join us this Saturday on the Saturday Sports Line, the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to Harold Welter for Sophie Frazier's Athlete of the Week interview. I had a chance to sit down and talk with her today. You will not want to miss this interview as the leader for the Lady Jays. Sophie Frazier talks about her career here at North Judson-San Pierre, as well as her goals this senior season with these Lady Jays. That's this Saturday on the Saturday Sports Line. Well, they are going through their starting lineups here at North Judson-San Pierre. As we remind you, our officials for this evening are Bob Schellinger, Sean Treese, and Zach Sleewaw. And you can tell that North Judson doing a fantastic job with this intro here. They've got on the Jumbotron some big-time plays from this season, it looks like. They play on the Jumbotron with music to get everybody excited. As they use that Jumbotron to their advantage, Coach, that's for sure.
Well, I tell you, that is a awesome piece to this gymnasium, and it looked nice. It's got a great picture for as big as that thing is.
Well, and then I'm sitting here looking at the Lady Cavaliers, and they're staring up at it. So it plays to the home team advantage. It kind of gets the other team a little on their heels, maybe. You know, you can't say you come into a crowd like this and they get an intro like this. It's a little different. It's a little different. It can throw you off a little bit.
No doubt. Like I say, it's a great atmosphere. They've done a great job of, making this gymnasium, the nest, I guess, making it theirs. And so it's a tough place to play. It was before, and I think it's even going to be tougher.
Well, you just heard in the background, most likely, the PA announcer tonight is senior Logan Radke. He was, of course, one of the leaders on the North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jay football team, doing a great job with the PA announcing tonight. The clock operator is Dave Altman, and the scorekeeper is Kennedy Baxter. We are set for girls basketball action. As we remind you, tonight's tip-off is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac. All right, here we go, Coach. Looks like Amaya Williams is going to jump along with a Lady Blue Jay. That was number 10, Kylie Lehigh jumping, and it is controlled by the Lady Jays. Before it goes out of bounds, it's going to stay down here, Lady J ball. No, Lady Cav ball. My apologies. So Lady Cavs underneath their own basket for the out-of-bounds play. Kicks it out to Bryn Barrett. She drives over to the right side. Now she kicks it into Kennedy Jackson for the layup. No good. And rebounded Sophie Frazier. Here come the Lady Jays. First possession of the ball game. Kicks it back over to number 14. That is Olivia Burkett. Now to number 24. That is Reagan Hensley. Back over to Burkett. Burkett drives baseline. Kicks it to the far corner. That is Sophie Frazier. Now back up to 24. Reagan Hensley. Back over to Frazier. Dribbles with her right hand. Top of the key. Kicks it over to Olivia Burkett. Inside to Hensley. Working from the baseline. Nice move. No good. Rebounded. Well, she touched it and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Lady Cavalier ball.
Culver's in that tight 2-3 zone, and North Judson's got a press on right now.
So full court press from the Lady Jays as now here's Kennedy Jackson. She kicks it out to Amaya Williams in the corner. Over to Bryn Barrett from 3, top of the key. No good. Saved. Oh, wow, nice save from the Cavs as they kick it back out. Here's Rose Peterson, who's driving inside. Now she's on the left far. Kicks it back up to the top of the key. This is Bryn Barrett looking inside. No, this is actually Grace Sieber. My apologies. Inside to Kennedy Jackson. Jackson, nice post move. Kicks it over to Bryn Barrett. Almost lost it, but she saves it in the far corner, who kicks it back up to Rose Peterson. Peterson finds Sieber in the far corner. Back inside to Jackson. Reverse layup, and she gets it to go. Nice move, Kennedy Jackson. And immediately Bailey Goodman calls a 30-second timeout as she wants to talk things over on the inside.
Well, I tell you, she's going to be a handful down low for anybody. I mean, Judson's in that man-to-man, and it's pretty much what they play all the time. But Bailey had to call that quick timeout. I think what she's wanting is some help side on the opposite side because she kind of was.
Yeah, she was quick to see that.
Yes, so she called a quick timeout, and she'll make a good adjustment here, and they'll be fine.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service. Call Joe Nepp at 1-800-590-2272 for all your residential, commercial, and agricultural crane needs. Shout out to Joe Nepp tonight, who's tuning in from Central Indiana as the Lady Jays trail 0-2 here in this one early on. This is Olivia Burkett, who kicks it over to Hensley. Hensley over to Sophie Frazier, back over to Hensley from 3. No, she faked it, dribbled around her defender, tried a layup, no good. Rebounded Morgan Hensley. No, stolen. Here come the Lady Cavs. Kennedy Jackson with the ball, and she finds Grace Sieber immediately. Sieber's going to bring it across the timeline. 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Sieber picks up her dribble inside to Kennedy Jackson. That's where they want it. Back out to Sieber for a wide open 3. And no good. Rebounded Morgan Hensley, and here come the Lady Jays. Frazier pushes the tempo up to number 10. That's Kylie Lehigh, who had trouble baseline and lost it. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Cavalier ball.
As you can see, they're trying to push the ball up a little bit so Culver can't get in that 2-3 zone right there.
So full court press from the Lady Jays, but the Cavs beat it as they cross the timeline. It's Rose Peterson at the top of the key. Now kicks it over to Sieber, who gets it inside to Kennedy Jackson. Almost lost it. Now she kicks it out to number 32. Stolen, and here comes, that's Sophie Frazier on the steal. Kicks it up to Olivia Burkett. Inside to Hensley. Nice play. Number 24, Reagan Hensley for the 2 points as it's tied 2-2. As here come the Cavs. They cross the timeline. This is Grace Sieber. Kicks it over to number 32. That is Lucy Overmeyer. Inside to Amaya Williams, who gets the shot to go and an and one. So Amaya Williams, who we saw this past Saturday as a sophomore, 5'11", contribute very well for the Lady Cavs. Her and Kennedy Jackson really hold down the fort on the inside for them.
I think that foul was on Morgan Hensley.
So that's Morgan Hensley's first, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
As this is Amaya Williams for the and one. Ooh, too tough off the back iron as it stays 2-4. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. This is number 24, Reagan Hensley, bringing it up. She kicks it over to number 10, Kylie Lehigh. Now back up to the top of the key. Kicks it over to Frazier. Sophie Frazier inside to Megan Hensley. Back out to Reagan. Now kicks it over. Number 10, Kylie Lehigh for 3. No good. Rebounded Lady Jays. Oh, now we've got a steal. That's Grace Sieber. And right off the steal, it bounced off the sideline out of bounds. It stays here, Lady J ball.
Well, right now it looks like Culver's getting a lot of the 50-50 balls, and just, Judson's getting a little out-hustled right now.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. Reagan Hensley setting it up at the top of the key. They kick it into Morgan Hensley. Now back out to Reagan, who then finds number 14, Olivia Burkett. Looking at that 2-3 zone Coach was talking about from the Lady Cavs. This is Reagan Hensley. Kicks it back over to Olivia Burkett. Burkett looking inside at Frazier. No, she finds it to Morgan Hensley, who then kicks it inside to Sophie Frazier for a nice, right off the back. And she missed it. A nice layup, no good. It stays 2-4, and here come the Lady Cavs. This is Grace Sieber. Kicks it over to Rose Peterson, who crosses the timeline. Setting up the offense. A little weave up top to Bryn Barrett. Now kicks it over to Grace Sieber. Back over to Kennedy Jackson. Jackson back to Bryn Barrett. She's at the top of the key. Spins around. Now wide open baseline. She gets blocked by Sophie Frazier. And here come the Lady J. Sophie Frazier off a block. She finds number 10. That is Kylie Lehigh. Kicks it back out to Reagan Hensley for the 3. Big time 3 from Reagan Hensley. 5-4, the Lady Jays lead. And here come the Lady Cavs. They cross the timeline. Rose Peterson finds Bryn Barrett. Back up to Rose Peterson. Peterson fake. No dribble. Kicks it over to Bryn Barrett. Barrett back up to Grace Sieber. She's trying to get around her defender. That's Reagan Hensley. Inside to Kennedy Jackson. Picks up her dribble. She's double teamed. Back out to Rose Peterson. Then to Bryn Barrett. Almost stolen. Here comes Peterson off the steal. Nice inside to Kennedy Jackson for a nice play. 5-6. It's a back and forth affair. 3:15 to go in the first. Lady Jays down by 1.
You did see they did double team. They're going to the double team anytime Jackson gets down low. And
they want to keep pressure on her.
Yep.
As you're exactly right, Coach. Kicks it over to Reagan Hensley. She drives baseline. Tried to get it into Sophie Frazier. Stolen by Grace Sieber, and here come the Cavs. Kicks it up to Bryn Barrett. She's looking inside to Williams. Nothing there. Back out to Grace Sieber. Grace Sieber now. Reagan Hensley on her. She drives right around her. Wide open from a 12-foot floater. No good. Out of bounds, and they are going to call it Lady J ball.
The last couple times down the floor, they moved Sophie down, and they're doing a high-low with Sophie and Morgan Hensley. Now, that was the last 2 times. Now she's come out to the perimeter, so we'll see what they're doing. I think they're trying to establish the inside, but, having Jackson Williams in there, it's a tough match inside.
Looks like Kaya Burkett for the Lady Cavs has checked in, and Kennedy Jackson has checked out, as here's Reagan Hensley from the same spot as a few minutes ago. She makes them pay. Another 3. Book it, 8-6, as Reagan Hensley has 6 fast ones. The Lady Jays lead by 2 with coming up on 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter, as they are full court pressing right now, as it's going to be stolen by Reagan Hensley. It's all her right now. She's going to be bringing it across the timeline for the Lady Jays. Big time moment for them right here. Kicks it over to Sophie Frazier, wide open. She doesn't hesitate. Shoots for 3. No good. Rebounded inside. That's number 14. Olivia Burkett kicks it out. Stolen. Here come the Lady Cavs. This is on a fast break opportunity. Number 10, Grace Sieber on the layup. The junior, a nice job as she ties it 8-all here. So, a lot of things happened here as Olivia Burkett brings it across the timeline and gives it to Sophie Frazier, who then kicks it over to Reagan Hensley. Back to Frazier. Thought about shooting. Inside to Morgan Hensley. Nice post play from her as she turns around and gets the easy 2 on Amaya Williams. 10-8, the Lady Jays lead.
Right now, I think it's the Hensley's 10 and Culver 8.
And that full court press is starting to work for the Lady Jays as a tipped pass goes out of bounds. It'll stay Cav ball, but that full court press is causing issues as we now see Grace Sieber check out, Rose Peterson check back in, Kennedy Jackson checks back in, and also checking in is number 32, Lucy Overmeyer, and Amaya Williams checking out. Bryn Barrett checking out as well. So Peterson, Jackson, Burkett, and Overmeyer out there for the Cavaliers. So Rose Peterson, top of the key, takes the pick over the right side. She sees Kennedy Jackson. 59 seconds to go in the first quarter. Oh, stolen, and here comes Sophie Frazier on a one-on-one opportunity. Spin around, no good. Rebounded Megan Hensley in the inside. Nice job, no good. Rebounded Lady Cavs. That's number 44 on the rebound. Maisie McEwen. She's also in right now. My apologies. As Rose Peterson's going to bring this across the timeline. She's got Olivia Burkett all over. Double teamed now. Kicks it over to McEwen. Inside to number 21, Burkett. As it was tipped off the hand, it goes out of bounds. It will be Lady J ball.
I think the Lady Jays have picked up their intensity a little bit the last couple times. And on their full court press, it's not a trapping press. They're just giving them all kinds of issues, just move it, not able to move the ball.
Yep. As let's see if they're going to keep this for the last shot of the first quarter here. It's Sophie Frazier in the corner. Kicks it back to Burkett. Burkett skip pass over to number 3, Anna Garbison. Garbison drives baseline. Nothing there. Back out to Hensley, who finds Burkett and into Frazier. Inside to Morgan Hensley. And good defense from Kennedy Jackson as it deflects out of bounds. 2.7 on the clock.
This is probably going to go to Hensley or Frazier.
Out of bounds play sees Olivia Burkett taking it out underneath their own basket for 2 seconds. Last shot of the first quarter. Gets it to Sophie Frazier. Shoots the 3. No good. As that will be the end of the first quarter. 10-8, the Lady Jays lead. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by First Farmers Bank and Trust, providing state-of-the-art banking with old-fashioned service. We thank them for supporting local high school sports. Today's game is also brought to you in part by Howard's Marathon of Winamac, serving Pulaski County for 43 years. Call 574-946-6894 and ask for Howard. We thank them for supporting local high school sports. Well, Coach, you're exactly right. They turned things up there into the first quarter, as the Cavs were in control for the better part of the first first part of the first quarter. But, boy, what did you see from those Lady Jays that our listeners need to know?
Well, the big thing was, like I said, when I said the Hensley's 10, Reagan Hensley has 2 threes and another basket for 8 points. And I'm assuming it's her sister, Morgan Hensley, has the other 2 points for the 10 points. So pretty much the Hensleys have handled that first quarter, and they haven't had to worry about Frazier yet, but just give her time.
Just give her time. Well, we learned that the night before Thanksgiving,
Against Knox, yeah. I don't think she scored in the first half, and then she ended up leading the score with 12 or 14 points.
Yep. So as of right now, the Lady Jays got to be very happy with where they're at right now as they start with the ball for the second quarter. This is Olivia Burkett, who finds number 3. This is Anna Garbison. Ooh, stolen by Rose Peterson. And then it goes out of bounds. As she's very good for this Lady Cavalier team, a leader on this team for sure. We talked with head coach Shane Lowry a couple of weeks ago about her, and she sees a lot of minutes for these Lady Cavs. As the Cavs are still in a 2-3, this is Sophie Frazier kicking it over to Reagan Hensley. Hensley kicks it over to Garbison. Anna Garbison at the top of the key. She's looking to get rid of it to Olivia Burkett. Looking at that 2-3 defense. Kicks it over to Reagan Hensley. Hensley over to Garbison. Garbison back to Hensley, who then finds Burkett. Burkett still dribbling. Kicks it over to Reagan Hensley. Hensley finding it in the corner to Garbison. Thought about shooting it. Fakes. No. Over to Burkett. Olivia Burkett now to the top of the key. Kicks it over to Reagan Hensley for 3. Wide open in the corner.
Find her.
Splash. Just like water. Tickled the twine. Another 3 from Reagan Hensley. 13-8. Under 7 to go in the second quarter. Ooh, stolen. Sophie Frazier. They tried to get it into Amaya Williams. It's a 1-on-3 opportunity. Sophie Frazier in the and one. Oh, they called her for a travel.
Not sure of that one, but I've got to be nice.
I got a little too excited too, Coach. I was really excited about that highlight.
That was a nice move.
But they do not count it as Sophie Frazier is still scoreless in this one. A rare occurrence for her. It stays 13-8. Kennedy Jackson for 3. Oh, it looked good from here. Missed it. She gets her own rebound. Kicks it over to Rose Peterson, who then finds at the top of the key. Grace Sieber for 3. No good, and rebounded Megan Hensley. Here come the Lady Jays. Olivia Burkett now at the volleyball line, driving around Grace Sieber, trying. Good defense from her. Kicks it over to Reagan Hensley, who then finds Anna Garbison in the corner for 3. No good. Rebounded Sophie Frazier. Good rebound from her. Looking inside to Megan Hensley. She wanted it. Nothing there. Back over to Reagan Hensley. And they call a travel on her there, too.
That one probably was.
That one looked more like it, yes.
You know the thing about these seats up here, Mitch? You really can see a lot better as far as the floor. I will give you that.
Thank you, Coach.
It's really good. It's how open that middle is, and they're going to start to see how open that is, and they're going to set some back screens and flash middle. Watch and see. I guarantee you.
So your eyesight's a little better than you thought.
Okay, let's go with that.
So it's still 13-8. The Lady Jays lead as the Culver Lady Cavaliers had trouble bringing it across the half court. They actually threw a pass. It was tipped out of bounds by the Lady Jays. So a sideline out of bounds play right in front of the Lady Jays bench are the Lady Cavaliers as they kick it out back on the other side of the court. Backcourt. Had to think of the name there for a second. As this is Bryn Barrett from 17. No good. Good look, though. Rebounded Olivia Burkett, and she hits the floor. They're going to call a foul on Amaya Williams. So back and forth affair here to start the second quarter, as it looks like these two teams are still trying to feel each other out. As here comes Burkett to cross the timeline. Kicks it over to Sophie Frazier. Cavs still in that 2-3. Here's Reagan Hensley. Finds Sophie Frazier in the far corner. Wide open. No good again. Rebounded Amaya Williams, and here come the Lady Cavs. It's Grace Siebert across the timeline. Lady Jays have pulled back that full court press. Looks like they're just in a man-to-man defense here. Big-time 3 from Rose Peterson, in and out, and rebounded Reagan Hensley. Hensley over to number 10. This is Kylie Lehigh. Back to Hensley, who then finds Olivia Burkett. Sophia Frazier now. Back to Reagan Hensley. Big-time 3 from Kylie Lehigh. No good, and rebounded Rose Peterson. Nice job by her. And here come the Lady Cavs. Kennedy Jackson now with the ball. Little weave option. Bryn Barrett, right elbow, kicks it over to Rose Peterson in the far corner. Amaya Williams now at the top of the key, who then finds Grace Sieber. Sieber inside to Jackson. She's double and triple team, trying to get it over to Amaya Williams. The ball is loose. Williams, and it's going to stay here. She must have saw who it went off of. I wondered why she didn't dive after it. She saw. She had a better look as it stays here.
They keep double downing on her, and it's making it tough for Jackson at this time.
Gets it. Ooh, almost stolen, and this is Bryn Barrett. Kicks it back out to Kennedy Jackson, who's on the far. Ooh, nice drive by her. Put it up, no good. Rebound, Sophie Frazier. It stays 13-8. She
good
pushes
pass.
it. Nice pass to number 10. Ooh, Kylie Lehigh with the pass. Beautiful assist from Sophie Frazier as it's now 15-8. Kylie Lehigh with the easy 2. Ooh, almost stolen by Sophie Frazier, but Amaya Williams picks it back up. Gets it over to Bryn Barrett, who then Burkett tries to steal it again, and it goes out of bounds. The Jays' defensive pressure has picked up here.
Well, they definitely have picked up the intensity.
As head coach Shane Lowry of the Culver Lady Cavs wants a full timeout here. We thank Farm Fertilizer for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. You can call them at 574-867-2441. That's Farm Fertilizer, helping to move the bar on yield and crop investment returns. Today's sports broadcast is brought to you by Dairy Queen of Winamac. We thank them for being part of the community and supporting local high school sports. Mark's Body Shop in Knox is proud to be part of the broadcast this evening. If you ever need collision repair, contact Mark at 574-772-7003. Well, the defensive pressure for the Lady Jays has picked up quite a bit, Coach.
It has. I mean, I think it started with that full court pressure, and their full court pressure wasn't a trapping full court pressure. What it was they were just putting pressure on the ball, and Culver was still having some issues with it, and really there was some unforced turnovers that they had. And then once they got to that, they went to that the half court, and they just picked up their intensity, and I think Judson is turned it up a big notch.
Well, they definitely are showing they are in control right now. As the Cavs, this past Saturday, Coach, they were the ones in control. So it's just kind of hard to see a team. We talked about this last week. When you see a team one game, they're in total control, to the next game where they're having trouble getting control, and that's what the Lady Cavs are going through right now. As that looked like it was a smart call to call timeout from Shane Lowry and his Lady Cavs, as Grace Sieber now is at the top of the key. This is inside to Kennedy Jackson. Jackson back out to Sieber, wide open, top of the key for 3. No good. Rebounded Olivia Burkett. And here come the Lady Jays. Nice couple of passes. Sophie Frazier gets on the board. As it was a fast break opportunity, a couple of passes finds Sophie Frazier for the layup. 17-8, the Lady Jays lead.
The Jays are this time and last time are in the 2-3 zone. I think they're going to try to take away the inside presence of Culver, make them hit the outside shots.
So they switch from the man-to-man or female-to-female defense back to a 2-3 now, as this is Bryn Barrett at the top of the key. Kicks it back over to Rose Peterson. They're slowing down now as they skip pass stolen by Sophie. Oh, no, stolen back by Grace Sieber. And Kennedy Jackson now shoots a 3. She swishes it. Wow, big time shot from her. 17-11. 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
You don't expect that from your center to stand out there and hit that, knock that 3 down.
I mean, she swished it too,
and
Coach.
She's a shot putter.
Yeah. Exactly.
She didn't look like a shot putter there.
No.
Nice pass.
And a nice entry pass finds Kylie Lehigh, as there's another 2 points to add to the board. 19-11, the Lady Jays lead. This is Grace Sieber to bring it across the timeline. Looking at that 2-3 defense, she kicks it over. This is Rose Peterson. Peterson back to Sieber. Sieber over to Barrett. Barrett looking inside to Amaya Williams. Nothing there. Finds Peterson, who switches spaces with Grace Sieber. Back over to Sieber. Grace Sieber kicks it back over to Rose Peterson. Deep 3 from her, and she gets it to go. Back-to-back threes for the Cavs. Big-time shot from Rose Peterson, 19-14. 2:10 to go in the first half. This is Reagan Hensley, kicks it over to number 10. This is Kylie Lehigh. Ooh, errant pass, and stolen by Amaya Williams. Here come the Lady Cavs. Grace Sieber finds Rose Peterson. This is the Cavs' moment of opportunity here. Kicks it over to Grace Sieber. Sorry.
They're back into a man-to-man.
Back to a man-to-man here. Kennedy Jackson now. Dribbling. Wide pass over to Grace Sieber. Sieber looking inside, nothing there. Kicks it back to Kennedy Jackson at the top of the key. It looks like they pulled her out from the inside now. Bryn Barrett, almost stolen, and it's lucky Grace Sieber was there to pick it up. Back to Bryn Barrett, who then finds Rose Peterson. 1:20 to go.
I think they ought to put Williams down low. Right now she has Reagan Hensley guarding her, and I think her down low, she'd have the advantage.
Yeah, you're right, as she is much taller than Hensley, as they are fighting down low right now between each other, as you just said that. That is crazy. Grace Sieber now kicks it over to Kennedy Jackson. Amaya Williams moves out to the top of the key now at the volleyball line. This is Grace Sieber. 1 minute to go here in the first half. Sieber almost stolen, crosses over, and she hits the deck as there's a foul called on Olivia Burkett. That's her first of the night.
Yeah, we haven't had many fouls in the game. Two for North Judson and one for Culver.
Pretty evenly matched game right now in the foul category, I guess you would say. As crossing the timeline is Grace Sieber, who kicks it over to this is Kennedy Jackson, back to Amaya Williams, who then finds Kennedy Jackson off the cut. Nice, wonderful play. 19-16, the Lady Cavs are closing the gap. As here's Reagan Hensley, kicks it over to Olivia Burkett, inside to Megan Hensley. Ooh, she lost it, picked up Amaya Williams, and here come the Lady Cavs. Boy, a game of runs is exactly what's happening right now, as it's now the Cavs' opportunity to keep it going. 20 seconds to go in the first half. This could be the last shot of the game, or the last shot of the half. Rose Peterson kicks it over for a 15-footer. Bryn Barrett swishes it from 15 in the corner. 10 seconds to go. It's a 1-point ball game. Sophie Frazier back over to Olivia Burkett, wide open for three. No good. Rebounded Amaya Williams, and that is the end of the first half. A fast one. 19-18 as the Lady Cavs make it a very interesting ball game, as we have a lot to talk about on the Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning halftime show. For sports analyst Coach Terry Minix, I'm Mitch Columbi. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
On the way home from the game, a deer jumps in front of your truck. And now you've got to get that truck repaired. Make it easy on yourself. Take it to Mark's Body Shop. Mark's has done expert auto body service since 1998 and will work with you and your insurance provider for collision repair, custom body paint, and insurance work. And all work guaranteed by owner Mark Schell. Mark's Body Shop, proud to support high school sports. 772-7003.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, we've been serving family farms for over 130 years. We've seen our customers succeed in good times, pull through in tough times, and we've learned some lessons along the way. So we appreciate the customers we have today by finding the solutions they'll be looking for tomorrow. Are you ready to talk about your farm operation? Stop by a branch or visit us online at ffbt.com. First Farmers Bank and Trust, Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
When you grow up on the land, you have an appreciation for it. When you grow up and work on a family farm, on land that is shared by members of a family, all working together as a team, that appreciation grows even more. They know what it's like to work as a team to get the job done. At Lawrence Farms of Knox, Todd and Josh Lawrence and family support the local high school teams and wish them success all through the season.
In 49 other states, it's just basketball. But this is Indiana. Stay tuned for more in-game action with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
BP gasoline with Invigorate helps clean your engine and can give you more miles per tank. Continuous use may result in the following pleasant side effects: excessive smiling, feeling more relaxed, taking more drives just because, volunteering for carpool twice in a row, and bragging to your friends about how you use our best fuel ever. To find out if BP gasoline with Invigorate is right for you, stop by your local station to discover our best fuel ever. Versus minimum detergent gas. Average restored 3 to 5 miles per tank, based on fleet testing and based on what you drive and how you drive.
High school sports brought to you by Zingo Express.
Rick Rabb 5-star in the Knox Mall. It's another wow week of savings.
Everybody's thinking about Christmas shopping, Tony. We're thinking about giving you bargains so you can eat and have enough energy. U.S. government inspected center cut rib pork chops, $1.88 a pound. Back in the deli, Open Acres, off the bone ham, $5.99 a full pound. Where's that 5-star?
In the Knox Mall.
Welcome to Marion University's newest location, Ancilla College of Marion University. Marion's newest campus location in Plymouth is your home for an on-campus college experience. From living in the dorms to being a collegiate student-athlete, Marion University is ranked 3rd most innovative Midwest university by U.S. News and World Report. For more information about our 2- or 4-year degrees, go to www.marion.edu/Ancilla. That's www.marion.edu/Ancilla.
Welcome to the Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Halftime Show on K99.3 FM. Here's Mitch Columbi.
Back at the Nest here in North Judson-San Pierre, Mitch Columbi along with sports analyst coach Terry Minix as the Lady Jays lead 19-18. Boy, for a first half, Coach, that we saw the Lady Jays control most of, the Lady Cavs really turned it on in the last couple of minutes there at the second quarter. Let's talk about them.
Well, for sure. Like we always say, it's a game of runs, and I thought they did a really good job. You know, it's one of them things as a coach, you say, you know, why is Jackson and Williams coming so far away from the basket, you know, as they're bigs? But when you have a person like Jackson that can step out there and knock it down at 3,
changes a little bit.
It changes everything, plus the other players say, okay, they look at their coach and say, now what do we do?
Yeah, I thought we had to worry about her down
low. And she handles the ball very well. She had a real good give and go. They threw a nice she did a Laker cut on the backside and had an easy layup. You know, so they're moving the ball very well. I think Judson's going to have to go back to that full court pressure to kind of slow them down and change you know, the momentum of the game, because once you let them settle in that half court, Culver's done a great job. Culver, I mean, you know, for a team that wasn't playing real well, Mitch, you know, and then they played Knox and, you know, beat Knox by 15, 16, whatever it was. And I don't know how these guys have only won 4 games, quite honestly, because they really look pretty good. Maybe, you know, it's just getting off to a slow start. And now, you know, they're starting to figure out, you know, what Shane's trying to tell them. And I tell you what, they look really, really good. I'm very impressed with them.
Absolutely. And I think that's a credit to the coaching staff. You know, head coach Shane Lowry along with assistant coach Barrett. I know that he puts in a lot of time. And it was funny, you know, at the end of the game last Saturday, we were talking, and the athletic director Mike Zahner had mentioned, he said, yeah, everybody – because Coach Barrett is so involved, everyone seems to think he's the head coach. So, but I think that that's just a testament between him and Shane Lowry. They have this relationship where you might just have 2 head coaches on a team in a sense to lead a team like that. I think that would be good to have 2 good voices coming into your ear.
Well, it's not like Brett hasn't coached before. He was the boys coach there, you know, I think before becoming the principal, and I think it just got to the point where it's just too much, a lot more responsibility than he, you know, with everything else he had going on. But as far as him knowing, he was a good player. He played for Knox. He was extremely good. Did a great job as a coach at Culver. So you got 2 really good coaches, and it always helps. You know, the more the merrier, I guess you'd say. But, you know, I guess when you coach with me, probably people wouldn't say that, more the merrier, because I would look at my coaches and they'd tell me something and I just turn the other way. So I don't know if I didn't hear them or I just ignored them.
Well, that's just not what we're doing for now. That's what you were saying.
Okay.
Good idea. It's just not what we're doing right now.
Yep. I got this.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, as Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning is a proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give third-generation owner Brian Hammond a call at 574-936-4660, serving the local area since 1936. Funny story, Brian Hammond will be our color commentator on Saturday at Oregon Davis, so we were proud to have one of our sponsors join us on the broadcast this Saturday at Oregon Davis. So big shout out to Brian Hammond. Looking forward to Saturday, Brian, as we are going to take a quick break and come back More to talk about here on the Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Halftime Show. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort.
Merry Christmas from your friends at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox. The holiday season is a time to reflect on important things in your life, a time to enjoy family and friends, and a time to once again remind yourself about the true meaning of Christmas. At Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox, we have a lot to be thankful for this holiday season. That's why we take pride in making sure your family is taken care of with insurance needs when the unexpected happens. So when you need insurance, let our family take care of yours. So from the Collins Insurance Agency family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Rick Rabb 5-star in the Knox Mall. It's another wow week of savings.
Everybody's thinking about Christmas shopping, Tony. We're thinking about giving you bargains so you can eat and have enough energy to go shopping. Back in the deli, Open Acres, off-the-bone ham, $5.99 a full pound. We've got 6-pack NRs. They feature every Coke item, every Pepsi item, 4 for $11.88. Where's that 5-star?
Yeah. The Knox Mall.
Kankakee Valley Broadcasting, bringing you Indiana High School basketball on 99.3 FM, The Valley.
Second half basketball action from the Nest coming your way. The Lady Jays lead 19-18 over the Lady Cavaliers. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
In 49 other states, it's just basketball. But this is Indiana. Stay tuned for more in-game action with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Culver's Portside Marina handles all water recreational needs. When it comes to pontoons, Godfrey leads the industry in performance and quality, and Portside Marina has it in stock. From sampan, aqua patio, and sweetwater pontoons, if you're looking for a family boat, Culver Portside Marina can help. Located at 514 West Mill Street in Culver. Stop in or call them at 842-5000. Culver Portside Marina.
Kankakee Valley Broadcasting, bringing you Indiana High School basketball on 99.3 FM. The Valley.
We're going to get right into it here. Second half basketball action as the Lady Cavs are in control. Kennedy Jackson at the top of the key. She kicks it over to Grace Sieber, who is now at the volleyball line. Looks like a man-to-man defense from the Lady Jays, as it was a fast half time from us. My apologies for taking so long, as this is Bryn Barrett now dribbling on the far left side. She dribbles back up to the top of the key. Ooh, now she's stolen by the Lady Jays. Olivia Burkett up to Sophia Frazier, who gets a left-handed layup. No, missed. Rebounded Ben Barrett. Here come the Lady Cavs. This is number 10, Grace Sieber with the ball. Sieber at the top. Oh, wide open. She thought about shooting it. I would have. Kicks it over to Rose Peterson. Rose Peterson.
You never saw a shot you didn't like.
I know. So, Rose Peterson now kicks it back over to... No, it's still Rose Peterson now. Finds Bryn Barrett. Barrett back over to Grace Sieber. Sieber now takes the pick from Kennedy Jackson, driving around Reagan Hensley. Nothing there. Kicks it over to Rose Peterson, who then finds Amaya Williams. Back inside to Kennedy Jackson. Kicks it out to Bryn Barrett. Almost lost it. Now she's at the half-court line. Picks up her dribble. Kicks it over to Amaya Williams. Williams back over to Rose Peterson, top of the key. 19-18 still the score from the end of the first half. Looking for our first points here in the third. Bryn Barrett driving baseline. Picks up her dribble. Nothing there. Back over to Rose Peterson. Inside to Kennedy Jackson. Back out to Grace Sieber. Now she shoots the three from the top of the key. No good. And it goes out of bounds. Tipped by a Lady J last. It's going to stay here. Cavalier ball as Bryn Barrett checks out. Lucy Overmeyer checks in for the Lady Cavs.
Well, I think the Lady Cavs are doing exactly what they need to do, and that's being patient with the basketball. They're spreading the floor and getting it at times when Jackson is in the middle, and they're taking care of the basketball and getting good looks.
So a timeout on the floor As we remind you, today's broadcast is brought to you by Culver Portside Marina. They can make sure your boat is ready for this winter. If you need help storing or winterizing your watercraft, call Glenn Bailey at 574-842-5000. We thank Patrick Auto Group for supporting local high school sports tonight. Located in Knox on US 35, call 574-772-7272. That's Patrick Auto Group. Well, full time out. Right out the gate, Coach. It must have been something they wanted to talk things over right away about.
Well, they all, like I said, they've been very patient. Culver was that time again, just moving the ball. You know, the old saying, if Judson doesn't have the ball, they can't score. And Culver did a nice job getting good looks, and they're not turning the ball over.
Well, they've almost taken 2 minutes off the clock already here to start the second half as it kicks into Kennedy Jackson, a spin move baseline, but nothing there. Rebounded Olivia Burkett, and here come the Lady Jays. Burkett, whoa, took it coast to coast. No good. Rebounded Amaya Williams. Here comes Rose Peterson in the Lady Cavs. This is Peterson. Peterson kicks it over to Grace Sieber. Sieber at the top of the key. She's looking at that man-to-man offense or defense here from the Lady Jays as she drives it inside, and she is going to shoot two.
It's going to be a foul on Kylie Lehigh.
And she holds her midsection. It looks like she got hit pretty hard there. Elbow right to the rib cage as this is Grace Sieber to shoot two from the line. Sinks the first one. That's what I like to see. 19 all here as these are very important.
Mom would be happy.
Mom would be very happy, especially at this point in the game. An opportunity to take the lead, and she does. 20-19, the Lady Cavs haven't had the lead in some time as they take the lead here in the third. 5:35 to go. As they get it into Burkett, who then finds Sophie Frazier on the inside and gets the and one to go. Sophie Frazier, almost a backdoor baseline just right behind Kennedy Jackson and Amaya Williams. They didn't even see her. As the Lady Jays reclaim the lead 21-20. Here's the and one opportunity from Sophie Frazier. And she swishes it. 22-20, the Lady Jays lead. 5:30 to go. Rose Peterson to take this out. Looks like the Lady Jays are just going to pick it up at half court. So Grace Siebert across the timeline. Takes the pick from Williams. Now she dribbles back towards the top of the key. Left-handed. Baseline. Tries to shoot. Blocked by Olivia Burkett. Here come the Jays. Kicks it over. This is number 10, Kylie Lehigh. Lehigh over to Burkett. Then finds Reagan Hensley. Fakes the three. Back over to Lehigh. Lehigh into Burkett. Burkett trying to see what happened. Almost double teamed. Kicked it out to Reagan Hensley for three. No good. Rebounded Kylie Lehigh on the putback, but they call a foul.
Sophie Frazier.
On Sophie Frazier. So Cavs ball going the other way.
I think they're establishing that inside game. They've got the back line on Culver is at the volleyball line, and that's how they scored the first time down, is on a drop off from the middle.
So the Lady Cavs now on their side of the floor. Kicks it over to Amaya Williams. Sophie Frazier on her. Back over to Grace Sieber. Sieber then finds Lucy Overmeyer, number 32.
Oh, nice.
Inside, and I looked down at my sheet, Coach. I missed it.
Jackson.
Kennedy Jackson on a nice move inside as that ties at 22 all. Sophie Frazier in and out for three. No good. Rebounded Garbison and stolen. Here come the Lady Cavs. That's Lucy Overmeyer. Gets it over to Rose Peterson, who crosses the timeline. It's 22-22. 4:10 to go here in the third quarter. Rose Peterson finds Grace Sieber. Sieber back to Kennedy Jackson, top of the key. Rose Peterson wide open for three. No good. Rebounded Amaya Williams on the inside. Tried to kick it back out to Grace Sieber, and there's a foul called. So it's on Reagan Hensley. So it looks like checking in for the Lady Cavs is number 21, Kaya Burkett, and Rose Peterson checking out. So out of bounds play underneath their own basket. Here are the Lady Cavs. Gets it out to Grace Sieber, who's going to dribble it to the top of the key. Ooh, nice spin move. Tried to get it inside. That's Kennedy Jackson. She's double teamed. Still held on to that ball. As Amaya Williams now looked inside, nothing there. Back to Burkett. Kaya Burkett kicks it to Lucy Overmeyer, who then finds Grace Sieber. Now to the corner, Amaya Williams back to Sieber. They are really trying to get it inside. This is Grace Sieber, finds Amaya Williams. She's about 17 feet out. On the corner, kicks it back over to Burkett. Burkett then finds Lucy Overmeyer inside to Kennedy Jackson. Nice post move, spin left. No good, and a foul is called. So she's going to shoot too, Coach.
Yeah, I think they're definitely the second half of looking inside, get the ball to Jackson. The foul was on Sophie Frazier. That's her second.
So we kind of figured between her and Kennedy Jackson fighting each other down low, it was going to be a tightly contested affair deep in the paint, at least, as Sophie Frazier checks out. And it looks like Megan Hensley checks in. As the second free throw is missed, she makes one, giving it 23-22. The Lady Cavs lead as here's Olivia Burkett, kicks it over to Anna Garbison. Garbison looking inside. She skip passes over to Kylie Lehigh into Olivia Burkett, who then finds Garbison, but it's tipped by a Lady Cavalier. It was a nice play, Coach.
Yeah, there again, they're going to the middle, and then that back line of Culver's is so high, they can run a back door and get an easy pass to them.
So out of bounds play underneath their own baskets, the Lady Jays. Kylie Lehigh kicks it over to Anna Garbison. Now to Olivia Burkett, driving baseline. She runs right into Kennedy Jackson, who had her feet set and goes right out of bounds. As that's what you want to see from your post players down low, getting that foot on the baseline to stop that drive from happening, and that's exactly what she did.
That's just good help side defense. She came over to help her and was able to, have her, lose the ball out of bounds.
There's one thing I always remember coaches saying, you put your foot as a defender on the out-of-bounds line so they can't get past you.
That's right.
And that's exactly what she did there. As here's Grace Sieber kicking it over to Rose Peterson, who's now back in the ballgame. Not much of a break for her, as here's Kaya Burkett driving baseline. Back out to Amaya Williams in the corner. Skip pass, almost stolen, but no. Grace Sieber came down with it, and a foul is called by Olivia Burkett.
It's her second.
And that's, yeah.
Team fifth.
Yep. I knew exactly where you were going with that. We're starting to feel each other out here. I think we started to know where we're going. As Rose Peterson now gets it from the out-of-bounds play. As this is Grace Sieber. Kennedy Jackson now with the ball at the top of the key. Hands off to Kaya Burkett, driving inside. Oh, and an errant pass goes by Rose Peterson out of bounds.
Kind of an unforced error there. I was going to say I really like when Judson goes to the 2-3. I think that's to their advantage, but she must feel more comfortable in that man-to-man.
So Anna Garbison now looking at that 2-3 defense from Culver. Tightly contested ball game here in the third quarter with 2 minutes to go. 23-22, the Lady Cavaliers lead. This is Anna Garbison. Kicks it over to number 10. This is Grace Sieber, who then finds Reagan Hensley in the corner, driving baseline. Ooh, nice drive by her, and she gets it to go as the help side defense didn't get their foot on the baseline, and she was able to go right by them for the easy two. 24-23, 1:45 to go in the third. Amaya Williams now kicking over to number 21, Kaya Burkett. Burkett kicks it over to Rose Peterson, who then finds Amaya Williams again. Williams kicks it over to Sieber. Sieber looking to see inside. She finds Kaya Burkett. Back out to Grace Sieber. Over to Amaya Williams. Lady J still in that man-to-man defense Coach was talking about. Here's Kaya Burkett. Kicks it over to Grace Sieber. Thought about a three. Now she's dribbling around her defender. Kicks it over to Amaya Williams. Back to the corner. That's Grace Sieber. Now she's driving inside. Tried to dump it off to Kennedy Jackson, but she wasn't there. It goes out of bounds.
Sophia's coming back in.
Yeah, Sophie Frazier checking back in and Anna Garbison checking out. Amaya Williams for the Lady Cavs checking out. And checking in for the Lady Cavs is number 44, Maisie McEwen. So, Lady Jays is Sophia Frazier up at the top of the key. She kicks it over to Kylie Lehigh, who gets it inside to Olivia Burkett. Back to Lehigh for three. No good. And rebounded Lady Cavs. That is Kaya Burkett. Here they come. Final minute of the third quarter. Boy, this is a fast-paced game.
That's just what I was thinking. It's just flying.
Flying right now, Coach. As it took more time to get here. As This is Kaya Burkett. Kicks it over to Grace Sieber in the corner for three. No good.
Nice box out.
Good, yeah. Sophie Frazier with the box out. And here come the Lady Jays. Olivia Burkett driving baseline inside. That's number 10, Kylie Lehigh. So she scores, making it 26-23, 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Lady Cavs will have it to end this one in the third. This is Rose Peterson. Hands it off to Grace Sieber, and she carried it.
That was another one of them unforced ones.
She knew it right when she did it, too. And right as she dribbled, I even was like, no, don't. So a carry violation called as the Lady Jays will get the last shot of the third quarter. Sideline out of bounds play as they get it into Olivia Burkett. Let's see what Bailey Goodman, head coach for the Lady Jays, drawed up for him.
The picker.
Kicks it over. This is Reagan Hensley. Back out to Olivia Burkett. Big time three from Sophie Frazier. No good. And that is the end of the third quarter. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Lawrence Farms. We thank Todd Lawrence for supporting local high school sports. Zingo Express of Knox is a proud sponsor of tonight's action as well. Stop by Zingo Express in Knox and fuel up both you and your vehicle the Zingo Express way. Finally, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service. Call Joe Nepp at 1-800-590-2272 for all your residential, commercial, and agricultural crane needs. Well, Coach, we've been here before. It's going to come down to the last quarter, it looks like.
For sure. I tell you, Mitch, there was a lot of action in that third quarter, but not a lot of scoring.
No.
There was Judson had scored 7 in that third period, and the Cavs scored 5. It just seemed like there was a lot more scoring. It started out quick, and then, like I say, a lot of defense. The shots just aren't falling, but I think you'll see the intensity pick up a little bit here in the fourth, obviously.
Well, from what we've seen the last few weeks, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, we've always seen one of the two teams come out in the fourth quarter and really seal the deal. So we'll see if one or both teams are going to contribute that. As if it's going to go down to the wire, we may see an overtime here. We'll see.
Just like we did in the
JV game. So, or a continuation of the second quarter.
Yeah, whatever that was.
So, the start of the fourth quarter is underway. The Lady Jays have the ball. This is Kylie Lehigh. Kicks it over to Anna Garbison, who's back in.
Culver went to a man-to-man.
Yeah, it looks like Culver's in a man-to-man now. Is a little different look for the Lady Jays. They're figuring it out.
Sure
kicks it over to Sophie Frazier immediately, and Coach is right. Immediately, Sophie Frazier scores, and there is an injured Lady Cavalier on the floor. We hope it's nothing serious.
You know, sometimes as coaches, we think we may outthink ourselves. I think they were doing really well with that 2-3 zone, and to go to that, maybe that was just the one time. We're going
just to
one
see
time
what it would
to show them what we're doing. But obviously, I think Judson was happy to see that man-to-man.
I think they were as well. They had the play set up and ready to go, and look who scored, Sophie Frazier. Yep. 28-23, 7:30 to go. This is Bryn Barrett. Kicks it over to Kennedy Jackson. Jackson finds Rose Peterson. Peterson looking inside, nothing there. Kicks it back over to Bryn Barrett, top of the key, looking inside. Kennedy Jackson trying to post, nothing there again. Rose Peterson now at the top of the key. Peterson back to Bryn Barrett, who then finds Kennedy Jackson. Jackson trying to dribble around Sophie Frazier, who then puts up a layup. No good. Great defense from Frazier. Rebounded Lady Cavs. Big time three from Rose Peterson in the corner. She tried to get her own rebound again. And it's touched by a Lady J.
Yeah, stepped on the baseline when she touched it.
So it'll stay here.
I tell you what, Jackson impresses me for, her size, how quick she is.
Gets around.
It's so hard to guard. I mean, she's obviously strong, but she's
got the
handful
quickness.
out there.
Yeah. She is not slow by any means.
No, she's got the ball. You're not getting it from her.
No, she's got those big hands. Yep. She can hold on to it where you can't steal from her.
Nope.
She's got the strength. As that is who you want as your 5.
Oh, for sure.
So the Lady Cavs taking their time on this possession, which is a good thing for them. Kennedy Jackson at the free throw line, kicks it back out. Now back to her. She dribbles over and finds Bryn Barrett. Barrett spins around, driving baseline. Now she turns back around the other way, kicks it out to Amaya Williams. Williams kicks it over to Lucy Overmeyer, wide open for three. No good.
Good box outs.
And great box outs. You are exactly right.
All three of them.
Yeah,
Good
three
job.
Lady Jays with big-time box outs, and that's what head coach Bailey Goodman said in the pregame she wanted to see. A 15-foot floater from Sophie Frazier, no good, and rebounded Lady Cavs. 28-23 as the Lady Jays lead this one by 5 with 5:55 to go in the fourth. Amaya Williams now kicks it over to Rose Peterson.
Get the ball to Jackson.
Peterson back over to Bryn Barrett. Barrett now to Amaya Williams in the corner. Williams finds Lucy Overmeyer at the top of the key, who then finds Bryn Barrett. Barrett back over to Rose Peterson. Peterson inside to
There
Kennedy
she
Jackson.
is.
Kennedy
There you
Jackson
go.
fake. Back over to Lucy Overmeyer for three. Off the back iron. No good. More box outs.
Another good box outs.
More
That's
box
great
outs.
Job.
Lady Jays pull the rebound down. It's Sophie Frazier, who then kicks it over to Kylie Lehigh. Back to Frazier for
Way
three.
right.
Way right. And it goes off the knee of an intended rebounder, Anna Garbison. Out of bounds. Culver Lady Cav ball. And a timeout for the Lady Jays. A full timeout as head coach Bailey Goodman wants to talk this one over, as we thank Collins Insurance for being part of the broadcast tonight, taking care of all your insurance needs. That's Collins Insurance, supporting local high school sports. We invite you to call them anytime at 574-772-6844. We also thank the Stark County Co-op, your local agricultural cooperative that offers an array of service and support, including grain, agronomy, seed, fuel, and LP petroleum. Call 574-867-2411 to contact the Stark County Co-op. Well, this might be the slowest quarter of the ball game, as it's going to come down to the wire here. Coaches taking their opportunities to talk with their players. It comes down to each possession right now.
Oh, for sure. I think the Cavs are doing a great job of handling, their pressure. They're limiting their turnovers, and the thing that I would think every time down the floor, Jackson has to get a touch. I mean, she's so good, handling the basketball, but she's so good at seeing the rest of the floor and her teammates. And, and she's got Sophie Gardner down low, and, and then they double team her, so somebody's going to be open. So I think, if I was Shane, I would just say every time make sure Jackson gets a touch.
Because that makes the defense double team her, find the open player.
And be patient like they have
been. So we'll see what they do here as Bryn Barrett brings it across the timeline and kicks it over to Lucy Overmeyer, who then finds Amaya Williams. Williams dribbling around her defender. That's Olivia Burkett. Finds Rose Peterson back out to Kennedy Jackson. Jackson driving, and a charge is called. Good job by Olivia Burkett getting her feet set, and you could hear the Lady Jays bench stand up and applaud as they're happy about that play, Coach.
That was her first foul.
Kennedy's first foul is a charging.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. She took the ball strong to the basket.
That's what you want.
Kind of it just could have been called either way there.
Exactly. It just so happens that Olivia Burkett's feet were set, and they called it that way, as that's exactly what you want to see from your fifth player inside, going strong. It looks like you're right, Coach. The Lady Cavs go back to that 2-3 zone. They learned their lesson. As Reagan Hensley drives inside, gets the missed layup, puts it back up off her own miss, missed it again, and then it's a struggle for the rebound.
Foul on the Jays.
Wow.
On Reagan. She was in the inside.
Wow, she doesn't even – her hands are in the air. She can't believe it. She looks over to head coach Bailey Goodman, and Bailey says, you just got to live with it. You got to move forward.
It's only her second, though.
You can see, only her second. She's lucky.
Yeah, she was a little frustrated there. She got a couple of point-blank shots for layups that she could have hit.
Yep.
But I'm not sure about that foul either.
Yeah. So Grace Sieber, top of the key now for the Lady Cavs. Turning up the intensity, it looks like. Here's Rose Peterson getting it inside to Kennedy Jackson right away. And there's a foul called.
I think that's going to be on Sophie. Like I say, he's doing a great job of, tell him get the ball to Jackson down low, and she goes right to the basket. Oh, she gave that to Burkett. That is her third.
So her third foul of tonight with 4 minutes to go. Kennedy Jackson sinks the first of two, making it 28-24, a 4-point ball game here. This free throw right here could make it a 3-point, one-possession ball game. And she misses the second one. Reagan Hensley on the rebound.
Nice.
And as it was rebounded off the missed free throw, the Lady Jays pushed the fast break up to the other end of the floor, miss a layup, and on the rebound of the missed layup, a foul is called on a Lady J where Amaya Williams is going to go to the free throw line. I wasn't really sure how to explain that one.
Yeah, that foul they gave to Sophie, that's her third. The Jays have had their opportunities. They've just missed a couple wide open looks here.
So a one-on-one opportunity, a one-and-one opportunity here for Amaya Williams, and she misses it. And then there's another foul called on the inside. So this one's on Amaya Williams.
That's her second.
And she will check out, and so will Kennedy Jackson. Looks like Grace Sieber and Maisie McEwen will check in for the Lady Cavs as they will stay in that 2-3 defense.
I think, Judson, you're going to see them go to a high-low here because they've taken out both their bigs at this time.
So this is Olivia Burkett looking at the 2-3 zone. She kicks it inside. That's number 10, Kylie Lehigh. Back out to Burkett, top of the key at the volleyball line. Over to Sophie Frazier. Frazier double-teamed. Back out to Burkett. Burkett now dribbling with her left hand. Kicks it over to Reagan Hensley. Hensley over to Kylie Lehigh. Lehigh back out to Burkett. Spinning around is Burkett. Kaya Burkett all over her, and she fouls Olivia Burkett. And then the Lady Jays call another timeout.
I'm not sure if they gave her a foul there. I think the timeout was called first.
So a timeout before the foul, as I didn't catch that. Thank you, Coach.
I think that timeout was basic. I mean, they were trying to just slow it down a little bit, but they got to take advantage of having both Williams and Jackson out at the time. Now they have the advantage of the size down low, so they need to go to the high-low or
use
something.
That now.
Yeah, use it now while they're out of the game. And maybe that's what Coach Bailey's telling them right now, that, hey, as long as they're out of the game, let's go down low. We don't have to worry about, Williams came back in.
So they must have just thought what you were thinking. Get one of our bigs back in, as Amaya Williams is back on the floor for the Lady Cavs, as this is a sideline out-of-bounds play for the Lady Jays. And this is Olivia Burkett at the top of the key.
Ooh, let's go breaking some ankles.
Yeah, she crossed over Kaya Burkett. Burkett's back on her feet, though. She's okay, as Burkett was heavily defended by Maisie McEwen and fouled on the play. Maisie McEwen with the foul.
That's her first. It's only team fourth.
As the Cavs have not really been in foul trouble all game long. They've done a good job that way. So Sophie Frazier for the inbounds pass on the sideline. Gets it into Olivia Burkett. Goes around Kaya Burkett. Kaya Burkett guarding Olivia Burkett. I wonder if they're related. So Olivia Burkett now with the ball. Kicks it over to Reagan Hensley. Hensley. And a foul called by Maisie McEwen again. A little reach there. As, they haven't fouled, so they might as well use them, I guess. But at some point, you can't get too carried away with it. As it looks like the Lady Jays are being patient, like Coach said, kind of just weaving up at the top, passing it off, letting that clock tick.
But I think I would be trying to put the ball down low.
Yep.
While Jackson's resting.
Reagan Hensley driving inside, picks up her dribble, spins around, looking for an open player, who then finds Kylie Lehigh. Back over to Anna Garbison. Garbison dribbling, almost stolen, and a reaching foul called by Grace Sieber. Another one added for the Lady Cavs.
It's her first.
Next one will be the 1-on-1. So they might be a little
little less active there.
Yeah, might be a little less active here as another timeout is called. As the Lady Cavs call this timeout, and today's broadcast is brought to you in part by 5 Star. We thank them for supporting local high school sports and remind you to shop local. That's 5 Star in the Knox Mall. 2:28 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Lady Jays lead 28-24 as, I told you this quarter was going to take a little bit longer than the other three.
Well, this one's taken
just as long as
all three together did.
Well, when it gets down to the wire like this, each possession means that much more. And you know that, Coach. I mean, it comes down to one play, literally, sometimes.
Well, in a close game like this, the Jays have 1 timeout left, and Cavs have 3, so it may play a part as well. We'll see if Jackson comes back. Yes, Jackson's coming back in the game.
So Kennedy Jackson will be coming back in. As we look out onto the court for the Lady Cavs, we see Maisie McHugh and Grace Sieber, Amaya Williams, Bryn Barrett, and Kennedy Jackson now for the Lady Cavs. Is at the top of the key. This is Reagan Hensley. Kicks it over to Olivia Burkett. Back to Hensley. Double team action between Amaya Williams and Kennedy Jackson. Kicks it over to Olivia Burkett, who then tried to get it inside to Sophie Frazier. Stolen by the Lady Cavs. That's exactly what they wanted. 2:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. 28-24. The Lady Cavs down by 4 and a timeout. Shane Lowry, a 30-second timeout, as they got the defensive stop they wanted, Coach.
Well, they went to that 1-2-2 trapping half court and was able to get what they wanted out of it. Like you said, it was it's one of them where the girl was wide open, but it was just too late getting it to her.
Well, they like to look for Sophie Frazier, and you can tell any chance they get to get her the ball, they want to do that. And it looks like they look for it quite a bit.
Well, nothing wrong with that. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
She's your go-to player, and the other part about it is she's your go-to player, but right now the clock is your friend. You got to keep that thing running.
Yeah, exactly. These 2 minutes here are very key, and this is a big-time possession for the Lady Cavs of Culver. As this is Grace Sieber now taking it inbounds from the sideline. She's at the volleyball line, top of the key. Finds a wide-open Rose Peterson. Kicks it over to Lucy Overmeyer. Back to Grace Sieber for 3. Wide open. Big-time 3. Grace Sieber, as it's a 1-point ball game, 28-27, 1:45 to go in the ball game. Here comes Olivia Burkett to cross the timeline. She's looking at that 2-3 defense from the Lady Cavs. Very patient with the ball. She's doing a good job. Kicks it over to Reagan Hensley. Over to Kylie Lehigh, looking inside, almost thrown away. Reagan Hensley picks it up, back over to Olivia Burkett. The defense is coming strong, and Kennedy Jackson fouls as they want to stop that clock. Boy, this is going to get intense here, Coach.
Not sure if they really had to put stop the clock at that time.
Could have let it go just a little bit.
We got a minute 26 left. Just play some good defense. You're putting a little pressure on them, and let them make that mistake.
Right, they almost did, in fact. As for most of the game, the Lady Jays have not had a tough time against this Cavalier defense. But here, the last couple possessions, the Cavs have really turned the intensity up, and it's caused some errors on the Lady Jays. 29-27. As Burkett hits the first of 2 free throws. The second one's up, and she misses it off the right iron. It's a 2-point ball game, and Kennedy Jackson gets the rebound. Here comes Grace Sieber as she crosses the timeline. 1:18 to go in the ball game. Grace Sieber kicks it over to Kennedy Jackson. Jackson then finds Bryn Barrett, top of the key. She's driving. Backs out, shoots from 14. It's blocked. And here come the Lady Jays. Reagan Hensley kicks it over to Olivia Burkett, and a foul by Rose Peterson. And as that foul happened, I just happened to see assistant coach Barrett kind of clap his hands. I don't think he wanted them to foul quite there.
No, when you're 65 feet away from the basket, it's really not a good foul with 1:03 left.
So they got to hope on her at least missing one here to keep it a one-possession ball game.
I think it's 1-1 here.
And she misses the first one. It's still alive. for the Lady Cavs here as they're down by 2. 1 minute even to go in the ball game. Here's Grace Sieber. She crosses the timeline, kicks it over to Lucy Overmeyer. Looking inside, nothing there. Back over to Bryn Barrett, top of the key. Fakes, spins, goes around her defender. Left-hand layup, no good. Rebounded Olivia Burkett. Here come the Lady Jays. This is Sophie Frazier. Frazier picks up her dribble, passes over to Olivia Burkett. Back to Frazier. Frazier looking at the top of the key. She kicks it back over to Burkett. Now Frazier. Frazier dribbles around, and a foul is called by Grace Sieber on the drive.
I think you want to keep the ball in Sophie's hands. I'm not sure of her shooting percentage, but it's got to be pretty good from the free throw line. Still going to be 1-1 though.
So 1-1 from Sophie Frazier here as Amaya Williams checks in. Brent Barrett checks out. As this is Sophie Frazier on the first free throw of 2. She gets it to go, making it a 3-point ball game. If she can get this one to go, that makes it 4 points. This is a big, big-time free throw for her. Second free throw from Sophie Frazier. Swishes it. That's exactly what you want to see. Nerves of steel right there from Sophie Frazier.
Senior leadership
as she makes it a 4-point ball game. And it's going to be stolen by the Lady Jays on an entry pass.
She was calling a timeout.
Head coach Goodman
was calling a timeout and
they didn't hear
never
her.
Granted it.
So the refs didn't hear it as a jump ball. I thought it was stolen by the Lady Jays, but they call it a jump ball as this is an out-of-bounds play underneath their own basket. 16.1 seconds to go in the ball game. The Lady Cavs need something here. And a timeout for the Cavaliers as Shane Lowry wanted to talk this one over here. So let's hear your game plan. You're down by 4, 16.1 seconds. Coach, what are you drawing up?
Well, the main thing is you're going to take the best shot you have, the very first one, whether it's a 2 or 3. You make the 2, you foul. You foul right away once the ball comes in. If you miss, you foul right away 84 feet away from the basket or whatever you are at that point. But everybody thinks, well, I got to shoot a 3. Well, you're down 4. It doesn't make a difference. So get your basket and then force them to make the free throws. And then when you have to shoot a 3, you shoot the 3. But, yeah, you first, run I would say Rose
Someone right down
yes.
Get right in the paint, get that easy layup.
Rose is probably the one, and that's where they're going to go to.
Rose Peterson now at the top of the key. She steps
she
back
is.
for a big-time 3. She swishes it. Oh, man. Step back 3 from Rose Peterson.
I said they're going to Rose.
And you did. So, wow. Unbelievable. 30-31 as it's a 1-point ball game. It only took 8 seconds off the clock, so that leaves 8.4 in the ball game. Plenty of time for the Lady Cavs to foul. So now let's continue here.
Yeah,
What's the next thing you do?
Right now, if you do not get the steal, you got to face guard. You got to do everything. Don't get beat long. I would not guard the ball out of bounds because they have the baseline to run. It's alive, so they're running the baseline. So there's no reason to have anybody up there. Just have someone back so you do not get beat long.
Yep.
Make sure if they catch the ball, it's caught in front of you, not over top of you. So once they catch it, you foul right away. Force them to make the free throws. They put a little more time left. Now there's 9 seconds left.
I was about to say they must have the officials must have walked over to the scores table and reevaluated.
And time is a correctable error.
Well, you're right.
Well, yeah, but they can correct that as an official.
So 9 full seconds for the Lady Jays here. Errant pass goes out of bounds, and it
didn't get touched.
I don't think it did. Is it going to stay here?
It's going to stay there.
They haven't really announced who.
Well, he pointed. Bob Schellinger pointed that it's Culver ball.
So it is Culver ball.
Culver ball.
So the Lady Jays throw it away.
They threw it away. They do not have any more.
Oh, my goodness.
Culver doesn't have a timeout. But
oh, wow. So out of bounds play underneath their own basket. It's the Lady Cavs.
Get it to Jackson. I'm telling you, get the ball to Jackson.
Kicks it back over to Overmeyer. Inside to Jackson.
Nice. That should be Judson's ball.
It is a jump ball, and it will be Lady J basketball. Wow. How do you describe this? They get the entry pass into Kennedy Jackson. Someone was right there. They put the hands right on the ball. Kennedy didn't let it go, caused it a jump ball.
They doubled down and got the jump ball.
And now
they
it's
have to foul right away.
And they do.
For Judson, that's who you want shooting the free throws. For Culver, that's who you don't. But at that time, it really didn't make a difference. You had to foul whoever it was.
So the Lady Jays get it into Sophie Frazier, who gets fouled immediately by Amaya Williams. She will be shooting free throws. The Lady Jays lead 31-30. If she hits both of them, they go up by 3. With 2.4 seconds left, there is still time for the Lady Cavs, but we'll see what happens here, Coach.
They are in the bonus.
First one's up, and it is no good. As I guess they weren't in the bonus.
Yeah, they're in the bonus.
Oh, okay. So she gets her second attempt here. She missed the first one. Boy, I don't know. Do you call timeout here?
He doesn't have any timeouts.
He doesn't have any timeouts left, so they've got a roll here. Second free throw's up, and it's good. 32-30. This is it. Kennedy Jackson rolls it.
You're going to let him.
Oh,
you
great
can't let it.
Oh. And a half-court shot is no good, as the Cavaliers had no timeouts left. They had to go with what they had, and a half-court prayer did not go their way. But what a game. 32-30 is the final. As the last few minutes, it could have gone either way, Coach.
I tell you, I am so impressed with Culver.
I am too.
For a team that Coach Lowry was saying that they were struggling. I'm not sure what they were struggling with, because the 2 games that we've seen, there hasn't been a lot of struggle. They've done pretty much what they want. They've got a handful of Williams and Jackson down there, and obviously they got some big-time players. I think Rose played really, really well, knocked down a couple threes for him tonight. But, man, I was impressed. But, Blue Jays, they got the win. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. You got the win. They're probably going to say we didn't play our best, but they played well enough to win. And it's just one of them things that a couple turnover here or there made a difference in this game. But it was a fun game to watch. Like you say, the first 3 quarters just blew by. This last quarter was really the reason why we came here.
Well, now here's what my mom would say. How many free throws did the Cavaliers miss?
Well, you're going to make me count.
Well, I'm just saying in general, it's definitely more than 2.
Oh, definitely.
So they would have won the game, wouldn't they have?
Yep. Yeah, actually,
you got to hit those free throws.
Actually, they missed 4.
So they would have been up by 2.
Yep.
So that's how important free throws are. But a valiant effort from the Lady Cavs and the Lady Jays. I mean, what a great game tonight. We are so glad to be here for you, as we are going to talk more about it in the Collins Insurance post-game show. We invite you to stick around for that. I'm Mitch Columby, along with sports analyst Coach Terry Minix. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Howard's Marathon in Winamac has a reputation built on getting things done right. With 30 years' experience as an ASE Master Auto Technician, Dean Wentz is the right choice for the auto repairs or service. From auto computer diagnostic checks to new batteries and tires, they can take care of it all. Howard's Marathon is a proud supporter of area high school sports and wishes all teams a great season. Howard's Marathon, 121 South Monticello Street in Winamac. Call 574-946-6894.
Hey folks, Auto Park Fort LaPorte has got some news for you. We now have the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in LaPorte County. So if you're in the market, come and check us out, because right now is the best time to trade in your current vehicle. Not interested in purchasing a vehicle? That's okay. We'll buy yours even if you don't buy ours. Not currently in the market, but your car needs serviced? Come check out our newly renovated service department and let them take care of all your service needs. And remember, we're not just an auto dealer, we're an auto park.
Real magic is everywhere. It's in your mom's cooking. In 4-hour dinners with friends. In that first bite of something new. And in the fizz of a Coca-Cola. Now with so many options for less than $5, the Coca-Cola Value Collection will help you make the most out of every magic moment for so much less. Taste the magic for less with Coca-Cola.
Welcome to the Collins Insurance Agency's post-game show. Let's get back to Mitch Columby and Coach Terry Minix.
32-30 is the final here in the Nest at North Judson-San Pierre High School. I'm Mitch Columbi along with sports analyst Coach Terry Minix. Well, Coach, big-time game. Saw it down to the wire. What is your overall opinion now as we talk about it?
Well, like I said, I was very, very impressed with Culver. I mean, they did pretty much everything they wanted to do and what I thought they had to do, and that was be patient, take care of the basketball. Now, I had them with 18 turnovers, but, a few of them were some unforced ones. But all in all, I think, they've got nothing to hang their head about because they played really, really well. I thought Kennedy Jackson, like I said, she is just a handful down low, and you have to be able to double team her to stop them. And then if you got the shooter like Rose Peterson can knock down the threes. Like I say, I say it over and over, but I am impressed with Culver. I cannot believe that they've only won 4 games or whatever it is because they're getting better and better, and probably come sectional time, they're going to be playing some of their best basketball.
Yeah.
And it was Judson. Like I say, it wasn't one of their better games. I thought in the beginning, Hensley shot the ball extremely well. She got them off to a good start. She had their first 8 points in this game and did a really nice job getting them going, and then kind of got lost after that, in the second, third, and fourth quarter. So, but all in all, like you say, they got to win, and that's all all you can ask is win and survive, and take that win. At the end of the day, nobody really looks at the score. You just say,
W.
hey, we got the W, and let's work on the things we struggled with. They had a little more. I mean, they had 19 turnovers as well, and I thought they struggled on a couple things that I thought they don't usually do. It's just one of them things. It just wasn't their night, but were able to get away with that win.
Well, I should have shared this with you all earlier in the broadcast. I got a nice text message from Harold Welter, who let me know that one of our officials this evening, Bob Schellinger, is the former head football and head baseball coach at South Central, and he also took LaPorte to the state Class 4A championship game in his last year of coaching. So that was an interesting factoid Harold Welter had shared with me about one of our officials this evening, Bob Schellinger. As you know, Coach, you're an official yourself. It's not easy being a referee, especially this day and age, and they do take a lot of hits sometimes. But I think I read a story not too long ago where high school refs are kind of hard to come by. So anyone that is interested in being a referee, we encourage anyone to reach out and try to become one because they are heavily needed in this area.
Oh, for sure. And I've been doing it the last couple of years since I got out of the being the head coach and everything. And it's just one of them things. I love being around the kids, and that's why most of these guys do it, is just to be out, around the kids. And, I would say if, you want to do it, start at the lower levels and work your way up, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities. Believe me, if I wanted to be reffing, I could be reffing every night. We get emails saying they need an official at a JV game or a C-team game or even the varsity game. So if you want to do it, definitely do it. It's rewarding. And, there's some things you have to understand. You can't have rabbit ears and listen to everything because everybody this day and age is saying a lot of things. It's not just the coaches. It's a little bit of everybody.
Well, we're going to take a break and come back and get ready for our Stark County Co-op play of the game. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Collins Insurance Agency in Knox has done it again. They have earned the distinction of preferred agency partner from the Western Reserve Insurance Company.
Can't touch this.
So what does that mean for you? Collins Insurance Agency provides themselves of taking care of its community. That means providing the best insurance that keeps you and your family safe in a time of need. And with this honor, Collins Insurance Agency looks forward to providing Stark and surrounding counties the best customer service you and your family deserve. Collins Insurance Agency in Knox, living the golden rule by treating you like family.
Farm Fertilizers and Seeds is proud to be our area's newest sales representatives for Pioneer Hybrid Seed. This is Andy Abel. Pioneer offers top-of-the-line genetics, a complete portfolio including alfalfa and wheat seed, and cutting-edge seed traits and technologies. Combined with exceptional financing options, Pioneer provides the total package. one that we are proud to be able to offer our customers. If you are currently working with a Pioneer sales representative, you have made a good choice. If you aren't, let Farm Fertilizers and Seeds show you how Pioneer can work on your farm. Call us today at 867-2441 to answer any of your questions.
It's time for the Stark County Co-op play of the game. Now, let's return to the voices of WKVI, Sports Director Mitch Columbi and Coach Terry Minix.
All right, Coach, what's our Stark County Co-op play of the game tonight?
Well, it seemed like a lot of the stuff that was happened early, but the one thing that I thought stuck out is at the 7:38 mark of the fourth quarter, Culver went to that man-to-man, and right away it was just a one-on-one with a back cut to Sophia Frazier when the score was 23-26, and it put North Judson up 23-28 at that point in time, and they kind of never looked back at that time. So that's our play of the game.
Well, I agree with you. I think that was our Stark County Co-op play of the game. Is look who we have here. Looks like it's going to be our new friend in this this time of year. It's head coach Shane Lowry of the Lady Cavaliers. Boy, Coach, thought you were going to pull that out there at the end. Talk about your effort from the Lady Cavs tonight.
Gritty performance. We're doing some things that we plan to do, and like I've always told you, every time I've talked to you, have a couple days of practice, and it makes a difference.
Yeah.
The month of November is rough on us, and I don't know how many games in 20-some days, 10 games or something like that, but it's just difficult. When we can get in there and we can look at what they're doing, we've had 4 or 5 films to look at for Judson. The girls are making the adjustments and doing what they have to do, and you can see it. That game, telling them we had a chance there at the very end in a tough gym to play in, and I give Judson all the credit. They played some close games, 3 to Caston, and Caston just been gangbusters this year. We're getting better. Offensively speaking, we had good looks. It wasn't what you want, the optimal type offensive game, 30 points, I think. But defensively, we held Frazier. I think I brought the wrong stats. 5 points.
Shit. I had her for 9. I think 9 points.
9 points. So
unofficial.
Definitely unofficial.
under her average. Yeah. So doing that, and Hensley's just a load under there. But Kennedy Jackson, she's getting healthier. One thing that I want to point out, and I think I said in the very beginning, we have a sickness running through. Bryn Barrett, that was a gritty performance out of her for how she feels. Same thing with Rose Peterson, another one. This is her second bout in 2 weeks. Didn't practice a couple days this week. So I give them credit, defensively speaking, for, battling tonight. And that's a very good Judson team, and they're well coached. Makes a difference. But, our girls they're getting better. We're seeing that from just 2 weeks ago when we went on a stretch of losses there. I think we circled the wagons really well, and the girls are playing for each other, and that makes a difference. When you can see that, and I think they thought they could win this game there at the end, whereas at the beginning of the year or middle of the year, I'm not sure they would have thought in their minds they could get it done. But tonight, like I said, we came, one possession away there. Kennedy, stronger with that ball, keeps it up, wheels into the basket. Maybe she gets fouled.
Right.
And
that's honestly, that's where I thought the ball should have went. That's what I was saying.
Option.
Get the ball inside to her for a lot of reasons. I mean, they were doubling down on her, but that's where I would have went with it as well.
That's exactly. And, get to the line, and we'll take our chances with her with the ball at that time.
Coach, I'm gonna have to start calling you Lou Holtz, because you told me, we're struggling, we're this, we're that. I can't. Lou, you looted. You looted, man.
He was the man. I'll take that. But I don't want to sound like a whiner. That's not what I want.
No, what I'm saying is, though, I am so impressed. I've seen you 2 games now, the Knox and Judson game. I can see how much you've grown just in them 2 games. I thought you did a great job. You have a great, tandem down low with Williams and Jackson. I mean, you guys are very impressive.
I got to give Amaya some credit. She's grown up as a sophomore and talking to how you play with Kennedy, and Kennedy talking to her. You can watch them in timeouts. They're talking to each other about Kennedy wheels to the basket. Amaya, you got to get to the other side. Get 50-50 with her, and you're the most athletic girl out there.
Yeah.
Make something happen, and she kept the ball alive. So I got to give Amaya a lot of credit. And, you saying that, I got to tell her that.
The big thing with Maya, though, that I noticed, and I'll tell you, and my daughter would probably shoot me for saying this, but Maya receiving the ball on the outside always puts the ball above her head. you've got to get her where she keeps the ball in her shot pocket, in triple threat.
Agreed.
Because, whether you're going to get it inside to Jack, or she's going to get it inside to Jackson, or she's going to swing it to Rose or Brandon or whoever.
Or attack the basket.
Or attack the basket.
They're doubling Kennedy. We've worked on that. And in practice, we can see it. In game, she's still a little hesitant.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. You're right.
Yep.
That's what we need to do.
But I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
I'm impressed too, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I'm happy. That makes me feel good. Cavalier Nation that's what you want to say?
Yeah.
They should be ready for you to be impressed. That's
There
what we
we
want to do is
go.
impress you.
Coach, I appreciate
you.
you.
No problem. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you so much. That's head
Good job,
coach
buddy.
of the Lady Cavaliers, Shane Lowry, here as we are getting ready for our 5-star player of the game. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Browns. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort. Time to announce the Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. Mitch.
Thank you, John Thompson. It's time now for our Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game, given in memory of Ashley Derrickson, a 2008 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School who battled cancer throughout her high school career before losing that battle on December 12th of 2008. We'll tell you who's earned that honor after this word from 5-star.
5-Star, the largest meat and grocery store in the area, focused on quality, value, and customer service. The 5 stars in the name of the store come from 5 family members of the original owners serving in World War II, each one represented by a blue star on a flag hanging in the front window of the family home. That's why even decades later, 5-Star is known for its dedication to service. Now that dedication means savings for you. 5-Star, one of the We Care stores, the area's largest meat and grocery store, focused on quality, value, and customer service. Located, you know where, in the Knox Mall.
All right, Coach, who is our Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game?
I tell you, Mitch, I was impressed in the beginning and the way Judson started off and the one that got him going right off the bat, hitting 3 threes. And I had her ending up with 13 points was Reagan Hensley.
Nice.
She got him off to a really good start. Kind of got lost a little bit, or maybe Culver just figured out, hey, we might want to get on her. But she's the one that got the Blue Jays going right off the bat. And for that reason, I think she deserves the 5-star Ashley Derrickson player of the game.
I agree. Reagan Hensley, congratulations to her for being named our Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. I have a score update as the West Central varsity girls Trojans basketball team fell short tonight 28-60 against Tri-County. Big shout out to Jeff Messer, the athletic director down there, for sending me that information. As I invite all of you to join us this Saturday on the Saturday Sports Line, the longest running high school sports show in Indiana. We will have several of our area head coaches on hand as we will be going live at 9 a.m. Eastern on 99.3 FM and streaming online at WKVI.com. I invite all of you to follow us on social media, on Facebook at Sports to the Max, on Instagram at WKVI Sports, and on Twitter at KVB Sports for all Kankakee Valley Broadcasting sports content. I remind you every morning to join Rich Wallen on the WKVI Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central, right here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Final word from you tonight, Coach.
Well, it's a lot of fun. I tell you, like I say, we're getting used to each other. type thing. But it was a fun game to watch. The first 3 quarters it flew by. Like I say, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching, watching Culver, how much it just improved in 2 games. It just amazed me. But, the one thing, I guess the last thing I want to say is, about the Hall of Fame game on Saturday night. I think it's going to be huge. We can get as many people out there as we can. I think the place is going to be packed. And, we've got a guy going in from the 50s and a young man going in from the, I guess, 88 team. And, and then that we're going to be honoring a couple other girls from the 2007 team and they were golfers and cross-country runners, and Sarah Conkey and Lauren Cuss, and along with our team, the 2014 state championship team. So I'm excited to see all the kids. Hopefully everybody can get out there and just have some fun with it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. So
I am too.
I really am. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But this was fun tonight. Fun to watch Judson. It's the second time I've seen them. Second time I've seen Culver. 2 good teams by year end. These are going to be sectional contenders for sure.
Well, we remind our listeners this Saturday is what Coach Terry Minix is talking about at Oregon-Davis in the Bobcat Den, where Tri-Township travels to the Den. The girls and boys doubleheader basketball game will be right here on K99.3 WKVI. Also in person at the Bobcat Den. We invite all of our listeners to get to the Den. Bring your little radios along with you so you can listen and watch the game at the same time, just like the old days, right, Coach?
Just like the old days. One last thing I do want to bring up. I said something was the the passing of one of our Hall of Fame members, Tim Hazley, who passed away last Saturday unexpectedly. A young man. And he, I played with him back in high school, which was many moons ago. And it's a terrible loss, obviously for our little community. Obviously for his family. But my thoughts and prayers are with them. And I just wanted to bring that up. I mean, he was a great man. He went on to play at Butler, led them in rebounding, and I mean, he was just an amazing player. And he'll be playing in the sky right now with all the big guys up there, but we're thinking of you, buddy. We love you.
Well, and another thing to add to why you need to be at the Bobcat Den this Saturday for the festivities of the Hall of Fame night is going to be that type of night, and we appreciate you saying something there, Coach.
No
I
problem.
know that meant a lot to you. So, well, we invite all of you to join us tomorrow night as the KVB sports schedule takes us to South Central, where the Satellites host the Lady Cats of Oregon-Davis. Special guest sports analyst Nathan Welter will be joining me for a great game at the Launch Pad in Union Mills. That's tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central, right here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. From all of us here at KVB, we thank you for listening to Indiana High School Sports. For our in-game producer, Chris DeGard, our sports analyst, Terry Minix, our in-game announcer, John Thompson, I am Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues. This is Kankakee Valley Broadcasting.
Thank you for listening to Indiana High School Basketball on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Sponsored in part by Coca-Cola, Culver Portside Marina, Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service, Dairy Queen of Winamac, Patrick Auto Group, Farm Fertilizers, First Farmers Bank and Trust, Lawrence Farms, Mark's Body Shop in Knox, Zingo Express, Jane Express, Pulaski Memorial Hospital, Stark County Co-op, and Silla College. The Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen. Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Collins Insurance. Howard's Marathon of Winamac, and 5 Star. We thank our sponsors for their dedication in supporting local high school sports.